Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Live with Sandra V, the art of a marbler, she's over there, and a maker. We are delighted that you have taken time out of your Saturday to spend with us for this very special skill swap event. Say that 3 times fast. Now, if we've not met before, my name is Sandra Van Sickle, and it's my goal to educate, inspire, and promote others within the industry who share my same goals. And the 3 ladies that I'm going to have on here with me today certainly share my goals, and they have the passion like I do for the industry that we work and live in. Now, you find, let me see. What I wanted to really tell you is that Jill and I could have just spent this time in the studio alone, playing and learning new things. But it's so much more fun when we can invite you in to join in the fun and also experience what we're doing. So I'm going to lose track here, but I want to let you all know what we're going to be doing today. Actually going to start off with Jill with her marbling, and then we're going to bring in the trim queen live from New York. And you all know Jana. She is the trim expert, and she is so much more, and you're going to find out about some of the other things that she does as well. And then we're going to bring in Renee Rizzi from American Down and Feather, and she is going to talk about all types of inserts that her company carries, and she's also going to tell us how her company stands apart, what they do different from other companies out there. So you're really going to listen in to what she has to share with us. Then we're going to jump right back into the skill swap, and I'm going to walk Jill through the step on how she can make this cute little pillow, complete with a little flange and an invisible zipper. Now, there's going to be giveaways, and you all have got your email, and we've listed the giveaways, and we're going to do that at the end. Okay, so you need to stay tuned. Now, quick note, we will stop from time to time and answer your questions. Okay, we both have decided that we're very creative, and even if I'm looking up right now, I'm looking at looking at your questions, I kind of get off a little bit. So I want to stay on track. So if you have questions for us, put a big Q right in front of your question. That way when we stop, I can scroll through real quick and answer the questions for you. Okay? All right. I'm reading the questions. It's great to have everyone here. Give us a big thumbs up and some comments, and talk amongst yourself if you need to. So go ahead, grab your favorite beverage and put your feet up. We're on YouTube, and so you can put us up on the big screen if you want to, because we are going to start right now. We are back. So Jill, we are doing our social distancing, but I am so thrilled to have you here. You are truly a master marbler.
Oh, goodness. I have to tell you, it's such a thrill for me to be here because I'm a huge admirer of your work personally and your craft in the industry. And it's a thrill for me to see where designers and makers take my work. I take it here, and then if somebody has a vision with it, I love to see where it goes.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see your side of the craft, because I never get to see that.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And that's really what this whole skill swap is about, is, to show how, we go from an artist designing, how it transforms into a product that we can use, and then we turn it into something else as an end product. And how we all can connect in this industry is just, it's just phenomenal.
It's really exciting. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I think about when I'm designing specifically for your industry, for the interiors, but it's not limited to that. But most of my work is for interiors, for draperies, top of bed, upholstery, home accents, pillows, and things like that. So I'm excited to learn about a pillow. But
Yeah.
but I do take some things into consideration when I marble, and because it's a craft that I have control over, and then I take it and the way it happens is I'll take it and I'll digitize it and make my repeats, but I also can customize colors for designers and for the furniture manufacturers. And so that's a big component of what I do, is to be able to bring it on home right where it makes sense for somebody's particular client.
Yeah, it is so amazing. She's been, like I said, playing around in here today, and and what I like about you too, you get some of it already. I mean, how many of us out there, we're seamstresses, makers, and we get a piece of fabric and we lay it out, and we're like, this, the design is off, or even the half drop repeat isn't right, or maybe there's not even a repeat, half drop repeater, and there's a lot that can really what could help us out in our world and make a difference. But again, just for all of you being here today, it's just wonderful, and having her, because it's, if we go out there fabric shopping and we see a piece of fabric that we love, and we just have to have it, and we purchase it, and we take it back, and we make it into some fabric hoarder. but it's another thing to take a step back and see how the designer, see how the artist creates their design. And so that's what we want you to really experience this today, because I think it just brings value. It you know what it really does do? It creates a story. It's a connection, of seeing someone at their art, and then seeing how it transforms into a finished product. And we don't always get to see that. How many times have you been to maybe an arts and crafts show, and you see the potter there, and they're telling their story, how they started their art, and they're going to town, and they're working their magic, and then you see a finished product. You remember that, and you appreciate it, and you value it. And that's having Jill here today. When you go out there in the future and you search for her fabrics and you see them, I'm going to tell you, I shared this with her. I was shopping at a fabric store about a week or so ago, and I saw some marbling fabric in there. I went, "Oh, it's marbling fabric." I went, "I don't think that's Jill's. It's beautiful, but I don't think it's Jill's." And it wasn't. And I can tell yours. I can, and like you can with almost any art, you can almost tell who's designed it.
It's interesting that you say that, because my philosophy with this process, and this is an ancient process that's centuries old, and it started as a book, a decorative paper art, and then it became a bookbinding art, because they needed to find a better option for leather once the printing presses got running. So then they started using marbled papers. And so when I learned this craft, I thought, oh, I want to use fun colors. I want to use my own creative language with it. And I worried that I was disrespecting the craft. And what I saw in Italy was that every artisan workshop that was generations old, the whether it was pottery, ceramics, leather, mosaic, marbling, the youngest people in the generation would take their time-honored craft and bring sort of a contemporary dialogue to it. And so I like to use fun colors, and I like to put my language with it. And I think anytime you take an old world or something that inspires you, but you put your fingerprint on it, then it becomes something new. And so that's it's fun for me to take it where it wasn't. And also with technology, with printing, digital printing for fabrics, with rug making, we're able to take this where it never could go before. It's just a paper art.
Yeah. And
so that's exciting.
And you do. Okay, Jill, I know everyone's going to want to see what you do, but I had questions, but you've already answered some of them. But is there anything that you want to tell them about yourself? You know, and they're going to ask questions, I know. All right. What prompted you to start this? You've already talked a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then I'm going to move back a little bit and let you get started.
So you don't get splashed.
So, well, I don't want to splash.
Well, my background is in graphic design. That's what my degree was in. And then I kind of moved into product design, where manufacturers would license my art to use on their products, like cocktail napkins, dinnerware, greeting cards, baby products. And I've always wanted to be in home textiles, and my mom studied textile design at the Cleveland Institute of Art, and then she married my dad, and that was sort of the end of the textile design, but she became an art teacher, and that's how she expressed her art. But so I think genetically I was maybe inclined to do textile design. But when I learned how to marble, I've always collected it and loved it. And then I went on a trip to visit a friend in Florence, Italy. And I said, I have to marble. I'm not leaving until I marble. And when I did, the skies opened up. It was religion. And so I have gone back year after year and stayed and studied with masters. And so then I thought, this is my language in textiles. So I just went to High Point 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, and did my first High Point. And now I work with furniture manufacturers, bedding, rug, and I do work with companies where I'm developing some original marbled products that we frame. So I get to play it out that way. But I wanted to show you just a quick, before we start, because people go, well, how does it get from paper to, okay. And so I brought some of the originals that then I can show you. I don't know if you can see.
Here, I can switch to overhead here. Let's go.
That. And that, you see the size of that. So when I'm marbling, I'm thinking about like what within the design could make an interesting. So this was the, if you want to just put it up,
I'll just do it that way. Hang on. Let me see our camera view. We've got.
I'll put this up. So here was the
camera views.
I super enlarged it, and so then maybe the front camera would be better for these.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, like, here's another. This was a teeny tiny, and I just thought that could just make a fun kicky pattern, and so this is what it became. I just posted this the other day. Here's a little scrap of it. And then when it's in the computer, I can play with the colors. And that's another thing I wanted to point out was that you had something on your work table the other day. I think you got from Cloth Barn.
Yes, Cloth Barn.
And so it was where the peach, where sort of the blush was gold. So I can play around with colors. And that's a big part of what I do. And let's see, I'll just show you a couple more. Here's the original for this one, but it comes in a bunch of different colorways. I have it in a gray and a black, and this is sort of a muted. So I changed the colors on that. And then this was, I have to do a shout out for my friend Lisa Mendy, who was the first designer to use my marbling, and she did it in the designer show house in Raleigh. And so I owe her props. She's a very creative visionary, and that's the fabric to it. But it comes in wall covers, and then this one was done in Florence.
That is beautiful. I don't even want to put that in the overhead.
Well, you don't even need to because I'll show it to you larger. And that became this. And this was with Wesley Hall. I have that fabric with them. And so people can, if it's with one of the furniture manufacturers that I work with, you can find it and get it there. Sometimes places like Cloth Barn and places that sell fabrics by the yard. In Charlotte, it's Front Door Fabrics, and so around the country in fabric stores. And then if you don't have access to that, you can find it online on my website. And designers, I have a designer program where they can get memos, and then drapery workrooms, window covering workrooms. So those are places that you can get it. But now I just want to dive in and start marbling.
Let's do it. I'm going to switch one thing on the camera. I'm going to put you. I'm going to get close up here. And hang on one second. I want to fix one thing, and then we'll move to the other one. But yeah, let's get started. Let me close this up. All right.
So I'll tell you a little bit about what happens when there we go.
Okay. There we go.
All right.
So now you can see it, everyone.
This is, and these are going to be terrorized by the end of this, but this is a thickened water. It's thickened with a seaweed starch. And that allows the paints to float on the top. And you had asked me before about, well, how do the paints not mix together and get all jumbled? And it's about surface tension. So they just sit next to each other. And I just want to start doing. And I'm going to match your apron.
Yes.
So we're just going to go, we're going to call this the Sandra V apron pattern. And I've picked vibrant colors today because they show up better. You can see what's happening. And so you can see that it spreads out a little. And then each time a color goes on, there's less surface tension. So they don't spread as much. But then every now and then you'll get a color in that wants to take over. This is a place where tension is good.
Tension is good. Yeah.
I'll throw some green in because I'm a huge fan of ocean and seaweed, and
we share some of the same language. I mean, but tension for you is different for tension.
Right.
Or for a therapist, tension might be different.
Right. I'm going to put some more white in there just to help that green come together a little bit more, because then the pigments spread out. And so you might not see the color as brightly, but now you can maybe see that the greens are showing up. And it's a little hard because the tray itself is gray and it's got paint in it. So you may not see here what you think you're going to see. And I'm just going to throw some yellow in because we need some sunshine. This is a Naples yellow. So we're traveling to Italy, to Naples, and we're...
Oh, yes, I'm there.
There. All right.
I'm on the plane.
So now I've got enough laid out on the surface, and I'm going to just use, this is a very official tool, which is a Shish Kebab skewer. And this is maybe the most used tool I have in my house for anything but shish kebab. So, you know, now they kind of... You can just do random. So if you want to do a predictable pattern, you'll use combs and a stylus in sort of a recipe of the order that you use them in. But all right, so I'm just going to keep playing with this.
Keep playing.
And I'm going to just show you a couple, and then I want to get you in the tray.
Okay.
And just let you experience the flow of it. And there's just so much peace in the process. And I think that's maybe what grabbed me the most. It's not only the beauty of it, but just the serene process. And so I'll take this comb, bring it toward me. You can start to see the pattern. And I always talk about the metaphors that come to me in the tray. And one of them is interrupting pattern can be a beautiful thing. So even in your life, you know, you can maybe look at the patterns that you have and maybe try interrupting the pattern, which I think, you know, has happened to everybody in the last year. So hopefully you found a good life design. So there's
yes.
All right, so let's pick this up.
Okay.
And see what we've got. I hope that the paint cooperates. So now I'm going to watch this because you're going to need to do this. I'm going to hold my paper.
Do you want me close up? Or you want like that?
This is good.
Okay. So we can see it.
And then I lay the corner down, but I keep hold of the corner.
Okay.
While I sort of roll the paper down. And you try not to get a bubble. But if you do, it's just life and you make something else with it. And so there.
And yes, everybody, those are my colors. You've been saying oh my gosh, will you save that? That's gorgeous.
You can have this. All right, so I'm going to put this over here to dry. We're just hanging it to dry.
Hang and dry back.
And then I'll show you one more, and it'll be quick. And then I want you to hop in the
Should
tray.
we show them? I'm going to show them what it looks like now that you've.
Oh, okay. So
that's removed.
So the paint just picked up where the paper was, and then the rest kind of swirls in. And sometimes I'll take this and I'll start something else with what they call playing in the trash, because a purist would not do this, but sometimes you can get some interesting results just from
that is
like
so
that in itself is
mesmerizing.
Kind of fun. But okay, while that's on there, let's see. We might as well. Like, I love what's happening with all the colors, and that's a little bit like that red one was kind of done like this.
I love that.
But let's just, we're going to shock the system here.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I hope that you guys are, I know being here is different than seeing it on screen, but it is wild.
It's very therapeutic. In fact, a couple years ago, 2 years ago, the Walter Reed Medical Center had me come in and teach their art therapists marbling so that they could use it as a modality for art therapy. All right, so see, okay, when I'm marbling, I'm having a conversation with the paints, and I'll put the paint down, and I might have an idea of where I want to go. Sometimes I don't. I just start with the color that I feel, and but then you see what's happening in the tray, and I'm so present in the tray, sort of searching for what looks interesting. And I think we talked about this earlier. I can't make up a story to save my life. I can't do something from nothing, but I can see it. I know it when I see it. And so marbling gives me a place to find the little Easter eggs, to find the gems within. So, and it might be a large piece of it. It might be a tiny corner. I might want to capture that and kind of create, maybe I take that, but look at that. That's just fun as is.
Yeah.
So now do we want to ruin it by stirring it?
Yeah. We have nothing to lose, right? I mean, yes and no, but to see.
And you know, I can take it too far. I can think I'm going to be extra creative with it, and then I end up taking it too far. But you know, there's no wrong. It's just playing. And I think this is what the beauty of marbling is you cannot possibly have total control over it. Right. And so you have to sort of let go and let God, I guess. So let's see. I'm just going to do that. And that's kind of fun, as is. Like, every time I do something, I go, is that a design? Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I'll stop there and pick it up and then try to go back. Mm-hmm. So you can also see, like, in these little areas where I left the...
Yes, you get the smidge.
Like, I couldn't have planned that, but the planning was using the other thing and letting it do what it will. So now I'm just going to go...
Wow.
I think let's pick that up.
Yeah, let's pick it up. I'm going to go to the face of it again.
Okay.
And we will get to your questions. Just We are just going to keep going, and then we'll stop and answer them.
All right.
But just keep asking them.
Is there any anything that you can say, ask right now?
Yep, sure.
Oh, okay.
Let them pick it up. Let me go. They're saying that one looks like feathers. Oh, look at that. And then there, someone said, "Is this always done on paper, then digitized, then printed into fabric base?"
Okay. Usually that's how my process works.
Okay.
And but sometimes I've done it on a fabric and then taken it. But paper gives you the cleanest look, you know. So yeah. I tend to do it that way.
Okay, we're gonna give me a minute. Let me get to my mouse isn't.
While you do that, I'm going to clean off this tray so you can.
I gotta find where my mouse is. It's not. It's doing its own thing. Okay.
So a lot of people will ask what kind of paint it is. I happen to use an acrylic paint, but you know you can use, like, I think Michael's has kits that is ink on water, so you don't have to bother with the thickening of it. And the principle is that you float. If you can get the pigment to float, like, you know how you've seen Easter egg. This is a good time. You do foam, shaving foam with food dye on top and stir it around. Is the same principle. You're keeping the pigment suspended, and then you're, playing around with them. And even in cappuccino, where they have the cocoa dust on the top and they make a little flower, it's the same principle.
Okay. I saw somebody have epic fail on that on TikTok or something. I had to laugh. Okay, hang on. Let me get to. Hang on, you guys. We've got a sensitive mouse here right now. Sorry, girls. People.
And we can get to the questions later if that is better.
Let me just get up to that. Sometimes technology doesn't always work in our favor.
I like to think about what colors are sort of working in interiors when I am playing, but I also don't like to follow the rules, because I think that's when you bring something new and different. It might not be the workhorse and the big seller, but it's the bright spot in the room, and so that's always fun. So let's see. While you're doing that, I might as well do another one.
Do another one,
because I can't not.
All right, and I'm going to, I'm going to put you on overhead, and you could be doing one.
Okay.
And then.
All right. So, well, let's see. I want to try a different way. I'm going to do this, and I might overload the tray. Sometimes you can overload the surface tension and the capacity of your paper to handle it, and it drips off the paper. But let's try something. We're going to do a dramatic graphic.
Oops. And as you're doing it, I'll interject some questions. Is
okay.
That okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. We have plenty of time, so. And remember, everyone, there's going to be giveaways at the end, and.
I think this blue is going to really spread out.
Everyone's just so excited to learn. A lot of people coming in from different places.
Oh, where are people from?
They're from Oregon, and we've got New York, of course. We got here in North Carolina. We've got Georgia. Everyone tell me where you're from, and I will shout it out.
And this is such a universal language of beauty. I bet everybody has seen the books that have the marbled lining. All right, let's go with another black.
Oh, you need to stop right there. I love that one.
Watch.
I love this. Okay. Sorry, my head is... okay. I'm going to ask a question. Is it possible for Jill to share an instruction sheet, products needed or suggested for marbling?
I don't have that, and because I'm so busy with my studio, I don't really get to it. But what I can say is you could probably go on good old YouTube and find all the information you want. But I would say if you just want to try it out, without having to invest in all the tools and all the chemistry of it. It takes a while to get the hang of it. You could get good satisfaction from just like a visit to Michael's and get one of their marbling kits.
Thank you.
All right,
So
here's
Jenna didn't know that marbling was an option for leather.
yes.
New Jersey here.
So there's that one.
Oh.
Does that need to become a fabric?
Yes, it does.
All
Does
right.
it need to become a fabric, everyone? Let us know.
If so, we'll do it, and then Sandra, you make something. Okay, now look at the tray too. How fun is that?
You'd only almost need to add something in the center.
So then let's try something. Okay. And it's just so much about play.
I would never work again.
Now you see, I threw my life away so I could do this.
Okay, here's a question. Jane wants to know what keeps the paint from running when you lift the paper. Okay, so I have prepared the paper with a mordant, which is alum, and it's the same stuff you use in canning, but it comes prepared for crafts. I think they use alum when you're dyeing fabrics. And that makes the paint sort of bond with that paper. So, see, I just took what was in the tray, and now... Yes. So you can just keep reusing and adding a little extra.
You can, but you can start to see, or you use your judgment when it's kind of falling apart.
Then we have a question. How big a tray do you use?
I use, actually, when I do my traveling show, I just use a cookie sheet or like a cake pan, but I have it's sitting inside a bigger tray, and then I've got a tray as big as this table, and I've seen people have trays, you know, long. I've got long trays for scarves, so it just depends on what you want to do.
Okay. And I'm gonna carefully not move my mouse so I get some questions in here. We've got Georgia and South Carolina and Hickory, North Carolina, and Tennessee, and they said it's like almost like a cooking show.
Right, it is. So, you could actually eat this because it's food grade. I mean, it's not toxic. The stuff that it's made, and probably the paint is. But, you might get hungry enough.
I know.
So Sandra.
What? Okay.
Game on.
Let me make sure there's no question. Okay. Texas, Tennessee. Raleigh, Southeast Raleigh.
Come on over. Hurry.
I didn't know that you were here. Wonderful to know. Houston, Texas. That looks retro.
Nice.
Jamestown, North Carolina. Oh, yes, North Carolina. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I think you're just avoiding getting in the tray.
Yeah,
so
I'm
come
afraid
on.
I don't want any epic fail here. Okay. We're going to move it up. What kind of paper do you use?
Somebody asked, does it always have to be paper? I've done an ostrich egg. People do, you'll start to see little eggs. I've done shoes, hats. We did a cracker.
A cracker?
In a kid's cast.
Okay.
I was doing a thing in Portland, Maine with Company C, who's my rug company that I work with. And a kid came in with a blank cast. We look at things as designers as either blank or decorated. So we said, can we please marble your cast? And we do like, and it turned out great. So, all right. So I want you to hop in and I will guide you through it.
Okay.
And so I'm going to show you one thing before I do it.
Okay. There's
different ways I have set up that you can get the paint on. And one is with the dropper.
Okay.
And you want to just hold it just above and let gravity take over. Squeeze it just enough so gravity make sure your dropper's full. You're just going to let gravity take over. And then another way is to use your brush and it'll splatter on there. And so and then there are other ways that I don't have here, but also one way people do when they're doing more complex designs is that, then they might add another color to it, but you're just probably going to do the first two. And then I would say start with whatever colors you're feeling, man.
Oh, you know what colors I'm feeling.
I know what colors you're feeling.
I'm always feeling.
But then, you know, let it take over a little bit.
Okay.
You might start in a direction, and this is another metaphor, is you start in some direction, the paint will happen in a different way than you expected, and that's just life. You take it from there and you make it work. So
okay,
all right, I'm going to step over here.
Okay, I'm going to go overhead. Okay, here we go. There we go. I think I'm nervous.
Don't be. And once you just play and throw your paint in, you'll be fine.
Okay, so you guys know what color I'm going to go with first, right?
And remember just to hold it straight up and down and let gravity take over.
And it doesn't matter where I put it, right?
Nope.
Okay.
You know, you can try a plan or you can just random.
I just see what happens. Random.
You are marbling right now.
It's like my heart is racing almost.
Isn't it kind of fun? And there's no wrong.
Okay, I get too much there. I'm probably wasting your...
No, the only waste is if you squirt it and it goes under the...
Oh, okay.
Then it's under and it doesn't...
I'm really liking that design that you did before, but I'm still... Okay, so that, I think that's good. And then I can add another color. You guys going to cheer me on, I hope. Here,
I'll read. If you guys have a color thought, shout it out.
Okay, I'm going to kind of go with a little bit more blue too, but I'm going
to... are the paints thinned out at all? You have to find the relationship of the paint to the water that makes it not sink. And it's, you know, I'm using acrylic, so it's just water that I thin it out with. Look how fun that is.
Oh, okay. So I think I like green, so I think I should add in some green. Whoop.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So does it matter where I put it? Oh, maybe you don't want to try.
You're the boss.
Well, I love that.
So this green is tending to spread out today. So I'm going to recommend that you put something inside the green, so it kind of pushes the pigments back together.
Oh, it pushes it back together.
So I'm reading questions if anybody has.
Okay. Like this, that was where I had that green. So what will happen? So look at that.
See what will happen.
Now that one is moving real slow in there.
Yeah, and that's because the surface tension is starting to take over.
Let's see what it does here. And here.
So if you're getting a lot of bubbles, you just might need some more.
Oh, okay. That was a little bubble. Oh, I see the bubbles.
It's fine. And they'll probably work themselves out before you
put it in the right place.
Get to it.
Add a little white. I think that is this a salmon color over here, or like a?
That's a red, and red tends to spread a lot. Okay. So
what about the raspberry? Do y'all think I should do another metaphor? Go with the flow.
Y'all Queen says yes. Go with the flow is another metaphor.
I think. Is that like a raspberry color?
It's more, this one's raspberry. Yes. Yeah.
I think I'm going to try the raspberry too, just to bring it in.
So sometimes the reds can spread. So you may want to do that with, I don't want to do your art for you or tell you what to do. But if I think it's going to spread a lot, maybe take this, take the brush and get some of it off the brush so you don't have a...
Maybe I spat it?
Yes. Okay. Wipe some more off because you can always add it. But all right, that's good. And then... give it a little knock on that and see what happens.
So exciting. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the colors that you put on first will be your densest colors.
Okay.
And so that raspberry is probably going to look light pink.
Okay. I think that might be. Yeah. I'm like adding all the colors almost.
You can.
I won't. Because I don't want it to look too... Okay.
What do you mean by the reds will spread? Yeah, Sarah, the reds and yellows and oranges tend to spread more aggressively. So I like to use them. Why don't you use... Where's the shish kebab?
Oh,
here it is.
Okay, right here. Okay. And what do you want me to do? Just anything?
I want you to do what you feel.
Okay. I'm feeling that swirl. I loved how you just kind of went like this.
Yes.
Just to let you guys know, I have a lot of work in the workroom that I'm going to give out because I'm going to be doing marbling from now on.
Right. Sandra's going to throw her life away so she can do this now.
Not really.
You could roll a clay pot, Nancy. I've seen it. It's beautiful. I see people do it with slip in pottery. You know, it's the wet clay that's colored. Yeah, it's fun to experiment with what you can marble.
I love these little. This is just.
There's a lot of just technical and chemical that you have to understand. You don't have to understand it. You can play, but you might learn some hard lessons along the way. And bumbleroot, it is cool.
Oh, I think I'm done.
Are you ready to pick this one
up? Oh yeah,
up?
I think
you can do another. You can do as much as you want until.
Okay. I think I'm done. I don't want to. Here, I'm gonna go overhead so they can watch it as I pull it up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
is that good enough, y'all? Because I just like you have a version of doing this.
So here is the side of the paper that will go down. Okay. So I want you to hold each corner of the paper like that. Okay. You're going to get your thumb dirty, but hold it at the very corner. Okay. And then kind of while you've got it tight, then roll this edge up a little.
Roll this up. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll
okay.
it.
So now keep that up while you put the other in, and then kind of lock your finger on the edge of the tray when you put it down, and don't let go of that corner.
Don't let go. Lock myself in.
Right. Lock it in because otherwise it'll float away.
Oh, I see.
So you're the anchor in the corner, and then you're just going to kind of roll the paper down because you want to avoid getting a bubble. So you can kind of see where the.
I can see it underneath there.
Yeah. And now let it go, and then maybe hit the side over there.
Okay.
All right. Tap the edges just to make sure the corners all got it. And then pick it up and maybe pick it up from here so everybody can see.
Ready?
Are you ready?
Drum roll, please. Okay.
You're going to get dirty.
That's okay.
Not in the same way you get dirty. Oh, look how fun.
Look at that.
Oh, okay, so you see how the red really...
Yes. It did. It popped.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. In the tray, it looked like it was faded out and that it wasn't going to show up.
It's always a little bit of a surprise.
It is. You know what? I think back in the 70s, I had a pair of bell bottoms. These
you might have visions of doing this in your 70s. Jane, let me know your retirement home, and we'll.
Yes, we're all going to. We're all going to go to the same retirement home. Oh, we craft and play all day.
All right. You ready to do another?
Yeah.
All right. So if you were doing it correctly, you would take. I'm going to make you clean. I'll clean the tray for you. Since you're just doing it. You just take newspaper and swipe it down the tray.
Okay.
And then I have a trash can below me that I'm...
Yep. Okay, I need suggestions. What colors, ladies? What colors? Tell me. Because in my colors...
And gents, if there are any gents in the
And gents too, yes, sorry. Tell me what colors, and we'll do something.
Always a people pleaser. Okay.
Yep. I know.
All right, so I'll go over here.
Seriously, I love that. Oh my gosh.
How fun. Okay, so start where you feel like starting, or let's see. I don't know. It's your game.
I think I'll go bright. I think I'm going to go the red, and the yellow, like in green, maybe. What do you guys think? Right? Because that's more.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I'm going on all around.
Okay, I'm going to go overhead again. Okay, see you guys. Okay, and just shout it out, everyone. Everyone, thank you. Okay, I think. What do I want I think I want my base. Do I need to wipe my hands off of your
Here, wipe them on my. No.
Oh. These aprons that Jill has, she sells them.
No, I don't. Sandra thinks I should sell these aprons. A lot of people ask, like, about having one of these painted up aprons. So.
Yeah, I do. I think she should sell her aprons. She because they're gorgeous, and she can sign them and sell them. Cheer her on, because I think that is
maybe they'd fetch
merch.
$1 on eBay.
That's called merch.
All right,
custom merch. Okay. Guys think we're crazy. Okay. I think I'm gonna do. I would really dig in the this red
last bit out of there.
What do you guys think? Oh yes, black and white would be interesting. Yeah, I think got on the overhead camera.
Jane wants an apron.
Go on the overhead. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you,
donate
merch.
it to charity.
Jill
I'll
Seale
donate the
merch. Okay, ready?
Mhm.
Yep, here we go, overhead.
You might need
Okay.
a little more in there in your
Okay, well,
if it's not coming out.
okay. Well, I got it. This is so much fun.
See, now you're a monster.
Yes.
Just creating.
Now see, that just kind of
and then as you add, the red will start to
really okay. I just don't know where to drop. Oh, I dropped 2 there.
And here's the thing. Just do whatever and just see what you get. And then
right. Don't mean too much. Okay. Yes. Red. And then let's do some yellow. I mean, we're ready for these spring colors to come out, right, everyone? Oh, let's see. Apron merch. I'm telling you, girl. I'm telling you.
So you may find, see, that's not going to spread as much now because the red's really taking up the surface tension.
So, okay, so that's what you mean by that
there's
surface.
A piece of art right now.
Yeah, that surface tension is what you're talking about. And I have really tightened the surface tension by all the red, right? So
sometimes, you can okay, see how that's dropping down?
Yeah, that's too much, isn't it?
Well, it's, I could change the nature of that paint so it would work in this stage, but that's just a surface tension thing.
Okay, so what happens when I add more color?
We'll see.
Okay.
Some colors might work and some colors might.
See? Yeah.
It might be the thickness of the. So that's the biggest challenge it was for me, was getting the paints to do what I wanted them to do and understanding when they did and didn't and why. So I say a chimp could do this once they have the setup, but it's understanding what works. That is so fun to look at.
I almost put it in.
Like, what? Like that and more flowers. Like that could be a pattern right there.
Here, I'm going to put, is this white or cream?
That one it's like an off-white.
Okay, we're going to do.
On tint.
On tint. I don't know. I think I need something here.
Sandra, I have to remember this because I feel like that could be.
Take a picture.
You know what? I have my phone off, but I'll just watch the video.
Okay. That's okay. What? What color, you guys?
Scream out a color.
Scream out a color, because I said I wasn't going to.
Metallics. Yes, you can use metallics, Nancy, and you would want to add your metallics at the beginning, because if you add them at the end and they spread, it'll just look like a gray or a yellow. But if you add them at the beginning, then they'll condense and you'll get the color you want. It'll make it shimmer. Yes, you can use gold.
Oh, that
I didn't bring gold. I just brought a shimmery pearlescent. But you can use gold, and again, I use it at the beginning, and it's just, in fact, Jana, Trim Queen, if you look at your bracelet, I've used silver in that, I believe, so you can see the shimmer.
I don't know. I was amazed at how the cream started to push that blue right over. Okay, I don't want to put too much more because I just don't know.
So Amy, with it, this is one of the fun things for me when I do this, and I see there are some people that will just come right up and start flinging paint, and then other people are very regimented about it, and other people want to be more random about it. And I think it's fun to see how people approach it. Sandra, that's a design right there. Like, I could take that and make repeats out of that.
Should I stop it or should I do more? I don't know.
Well,
I kind of like it, but
I want you to do what you want to do. I'm just going to have to watch this and remember.
Well, I kind of feel like part of me wants to feel like I want to swirl some of it, but not all of it.
Well, then do that.
Okay.
You're the boss.
Maybe. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
You're the boss of the stylist.
Just a little swirl.
You're the shish kebab.
Shish kebab.
And the play is what's so fun. It's like I couldn't have sat down and dreamed up that kind of a design, but I can spot it.
Yeah, see, it's like, me too. I think that to have some, sometimes I like to look at fabric and look at the colors that are in there and to bring all that together. And that's,
Sharon wants you to swirl the top left corner. Oh, I think that's what you're
okay.
doing now.
Sharon and I think a lot alike.
Hi, Sharon. What do you use for your fabric printing? They're digitally printed, but I use a bunch of different printers depending on the scope of the job. So, if you're talking about how do you print, like how you would lay a fabric on it, you just have to prepare the fabric the same way you prepare the paper, and then if it's big, you have a couple people help you lay it on. So Jane says, is it possible to just lay white fabric like cotton or canvas rather than paper for a small project? Yes. You could lay silk. You could lay anything that you can prepare. Leather, I do leather.
I think I messed it up. I think I ruined my design by doing all that.
Didn't.
But
that's life.
Okay.
So maybe if you want to take something and
I think I should just
play.
Leave that there and just go like that, or should I just go like that on all of it?
What do you think you should do?
I don't know.
I'll never tell you what to do.
Okay. I want to try this.
Okay. So maybe you can try it with, if you want to leave those.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I want to see how those turn out.
All right. So maybe just angle your thing so enough of it gets in there.
Like this?
Yeah, and you're leaving your...
And what do I do with it? Just run it through?
Yeah, you could just bring it toward me.
Just comb it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, I think that's better. Don't you guys see that's better? Because I almost felt like I ruined it by swirling it. But I think combing it is just going to let it be a backdrop of the...
Very fun. All right. So what kind of fabric is best? I think the fabrics that don't have a lot of texture would work best. Silks are great if you can do that. If you can find silk.
Okay.
All right.
A little yellow over here and I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait a minute. I think I want to hit it. Okay. I probably ruined it, didn't I? Whoop.
See, now you're just an abstract artist in the works.
Yeah. I'm done.
Oh,
that's it.
Beautiful.
It's done.
All right. So let's...
I don't know.
All right, because this paper is not the same size as the tray.
Okay.
It's, you have that much difference.
Okay.
Make sure you see what you want to capture in there.
Okay.
Do your corners.
I think I'm going to like the other one better, but I'm trying it.
Do your corners and then...
Okay.
And then kind of bring this up a little and then you'll roll it down.
Okay.
So make sure you're capturing what you want to capture in there. Lay that corner down. Hold on to it. You are a marbler. Ta-da.
Now drop it. Right?
Drop it like it's hot.
All right. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
I'm anxious to see the colors. Whoa.
Oh, fun.
That
is very, very fun.
Okay. Let me look at it. Oh, yes.
Here, I'll hold it so you can see it.
Okay.
And then I'll hang it.
Okay. Oh, yes. I love that background color. Yeah.
See, now, people say, what do you do with this? You could cover a journal with it. You could frame it with something on top of it. You could frame it as is. You could maybe cut it into a few pieces and frame them to make a big picture. Mm-hmm. You can laminate it and use it for a placemat. Wherever you could, as I cover cuffs with them.
Awesome. Oh, yay.
So, how's our time?
Good. My alarm's going off, so we're good. We can take some more questions. And then if you want to tell everyone,
note cards. Make
special note cards, yes. Tell everyone again, where can they purchase your fabrics?
Okay.
Have we covered that?
You can go, some fabric stores have them. You can always go on my website, jillseale.com, And if you're a designer, send in your designer credentials, and then you'll get your designer pricing, and there's a swatch a memo program. And I'm in showrooms for designers also in Washington, D.C., Jay Lambeth, and Charlotte and Raleigh, Ahoke, Las Vegas, Elon Collections, coming soon to there. And then Cynthia Ferguson Designs in Toronto is a designer showroom that you could shop in, and always on my website. So let's do one while we're waiting for Sandra. I'm just going to work on top of what she already had there.
Go right ahead. Yes.
All right. How's our time? I don't
Good.
want to run you into.
That's be beautiful. Yep. I'm going to get Jana piped in, and while Jill does that, we're going to put her on the overhead. See, you have got it going on. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to throw some turquoise in because I love turquoise. I tend to go for ocean colors, but I like to do all sorts of, sometimes it's the texture that you can get from the neutrals, like watching old black and white films that are just black and white, but there's so much texture. I have a lot of those. You know what I'm going to do too, and I don't want to run you into time, but I want to add black, and you can see how black just makes a design pop. So I'll do a little something with that. And I love this little stuff that happens in here. I'm going to pick that one up. I like this.
Yes, I love that one too. I love this one.
Oh, I might need to. I already have 12 ideas for new fabrics from today. Okay. So here's that one. And my white is running. But that's, I've outdone the capacity of the alum on here. So it's just a lot of play and having fun. And you'll make your mistakes, but that's life. It's just paint. So I'll just keep doing this. You tell me when.
Okay. Queuing Jana up.
Okay. So while we're waiting for Jana, and you just cut to Jana when you're done. I'll just show us out with this. Jana is queen of going with the flow and creating something from trim.
We always have a little technical budgies here. So,
all right. So now I'm just gonna sprinkle some reds in here.
My mouse is just big. And if you, before we switch to Jana, if you want to share what you're going to be giving away.
Oh, okay. Let me dry off here. All right. So today we're going to be giving away.
Okay. Sorry. Yes.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Is it on the?
I'm sorry. No, I lied.
Okay.
To you.
We're going to give away a yard. I was going to give away 2 yards to one person, but we figured let's do 1 yard each of 2 different, so 2 people can have. So this is what we're working with today for these pillows. This is my Hampton Plume fabric. And then this is aqua palms. And this is a cotton linen. If you're from Parkersburg, West Virginia, you remember the swim club called Aqua Palms. So those are going to be given away at the end today.
Okay, great. Everyone give Jill huge thumbs up. She's amazing, and I appreciate her being here, and I am just so excited.
I am so delighted to share this with everyone. Thank you for having me.
Okay. But stick around because she's not gone away yet. So, all right, I'm going to switch over to Jana. And yay! Hi, Jana. You have muted yourself.
Hi, Fringe Fringe friends. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm with you guys. This is so exciting. Sandra and Jill, I just am eating this up. It's so amazing. So thank you for inviting us all to your workroom today, to your super creative studio. Love it.
It's great having you here too. We wish you were right here with us, but this is good as it gets for right now, isn't it? So
It is.
everyone knows Jana and knows that she is the trim expert among other things. You're an author, you're a blogger, you're influencer, and Jana, we will not get off of here today without you talking to everybody about your the agility training that you do. She is not only the trim queen of trim, but of Instagram. And if you think you know Instagram, you probably don't. You need to take her training. It's amazing. You will be rocking it, I promise. So anyway, I plugged it in there for you.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you.
But yes,
Thank
go ahead. We
you.
may have to do a couple more adjustments here too because I had to start earlier. But if you want to do your thing, then we'll bring you up. Okay. Let me make sure that I got you on here. Okay.
I am ready, Sandra. Well, welcome everyone. I just want to again say what a thrill it is to be here and hang out with everybody. It's like, just like a sewing circle. It's just so fabulous. So I have a couple things that I want to talk to everyone about today. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to do a 10-minute presentation on the history of trimmings and passementerie and modern embellishment. Then I'm going to take about 5 minutes to show you things that I've done with trimmings, and I'm going to do a little show and tell. So I'm going to jump right in because I know we have a busy schedule today. All right, hopefully we will have all of this come up easily.
Hang on.
All right.
Make sure.
Sandra, do you see my screen up? Are
Yep,
we good?
we've got it.
Okay, great. So what I want to share with you, is the essence of Trim Queen, and what my mission is to share embellishment as a creative form of self-expression. So that's kind of what my higher purpose is to give people the tools to feel self-expressed. I think that is really important. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. So yes, I love Instagram and I'm also a maker. But what I do to make the quote unquote big bucks, for the majority of my work is I design trimming collections for distributors, retailers, big furniture manufacturers. So I love designing collections and that's what I do. And that's what got me into this business. Recently in COVID, I did start doing some e-commerce. So you'll see I have an embellish box here, which is going to be one of my giveaways to everybody. If you hang in there, I do sell tassels on the Trim Queen shop and kits. And also we sold out our Trim Queen ornament kits over the holidays. So that's all things that I'm learning digital e-commerce and really how to digitize my business as well. So thanks for the shout out, Sandra. So I do teach Instagram agility, and this agility is the ability to move directions quickly and keep your balance. So I do both small group trainings and I do one-on-one trainings. You can find all the information on my site, but I love giving people the skills to empower them to really dig into Instagram, to create a brand experience and to connect with people and build your business with your branding on Instagram. Also on IG every Thursday night, I've had both Sandra and Jill on my Instagram live called TQ Creative Circle, where I interview all my creative friends and they really talk about the challenges and the successes of living a creative life. So you can tune in on Thursday nights. So much fun, so many takeaways. And my favorite passion project was going to Venice with a group of people, of these fabulous women, and I call this maker tourism. We stayed in Venice for a week and we did workshops with Venetian artists. And you can see Jill there with a huge plumage in the navy blue. She got to be one of our group. And if I can tell you, not only did we learn so much and love our Italian sisters, they loved us back just as much. And we became like creative American ambassadors. So this is something I couldn't do this year because of COVID, but you will see this coming next year. And ooh, I just can't wait to get back there. All right, so let's just jump in here. I want to talk to you about the history of passementerie and modern embellishment. And the history really starts as far back as 900 BC, and it has been shown and it's been seen in pharaohs' tombs in Egypt that Egyptians were using gold thread for embellished sewing. There are a lot of the history that we could see are from cave paintings, but there was a little bit of embellishment going on a long time ago. And then what we see is, I call sometimes when someone says, I hate trimmings, I said, well, actually, they're really narrow textiles. And it's in the nomadic tribes that the narrow textiles and these quote unquote trimmings were used to put provisions onto pack animals and to create tents, enable all the tying to get tents up for their living where they were living. And as happens in the decorative arts, something that is functional becomes beautiful. These are beautiful water bags from Afghanistan. And that's what happened to trimming. So at first, this, passementerie, this trim was used to hide seams at where things were sewn or joined together, and so it was kind of functional, but it was also beautiful. And then as time went on, there became pieces that were just merely beautiful, like this gorgeous mantle that this woman is wearing, or my 10-year-old son's favorite shot, which is on the horse, decorating the horse in transportation by this royalty. Sandra, you may want to mute actually, because I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Sorry.
All right, thank you. That's okay. So this is my current favorite read. This is Fringe, Frog and Tassel by Annabelle Westman. It was published last year, and she goes into really amazing detail that a lot of the documents we have of passementerie come from furnishings from castles, homes, and she references this painting of a Bible being given to a clergyman in 1372. And you can see on the chair is a color block fringe. So this is pretty amazing because this is very early, so 1300s. And what is passementerie? So passementerie is the ability to turn by hand. I don't speak French, but I speak Italian, and passementerie is how we say it in Italian. Passa means to turn or to pass, and mano means hand. So this is the art of making elaborate trimmings using edging and cords and braids and soutache that are going to be applied. So I want to tell you a little bit about this. It wasn't until the 16th century France that the masters of passementerie formed a guild, and they were teaching younger people, apprentices, to become a master. Now, it took 7 years for an apprentice to become a master, and the tassel was literally the apprentice thesis, and it would eventually become not only their thesis, it would become their calling card. I love the idea. I would love to have a calling card of a tassel, that would show my skill. And then from this calling card, they would take on commissions from the upper class. And it was, so passementerie at this time was really a sign of social distinction. So it was commissioned by royalty. It was commissioned by the military. And here are some, it's still in tradition now. So you can see a little then and now. Here by the clergy, of course. And also in transportation. This was an outrageous show that I saw in the north of Italy of trimmings and passementerie on carriages and equine fashion, amazing. It was also a sign or used by, I said aristocracy and royalty. This is Marie Antoinette's bedchamber, and the stately bed became very, very important during this time. It's in the 1700s. Through the early 1800s, where the aristocracy would really take all their business and do all their writing. It would be from their stately bed. And all I can say is I could have used that during Corona time, isolation. So a couple of things of note. It was the Georgian era where the passementerie from France, which really hadn't been available to the US, came through the trade routes to the United States. And it was because as the trade routes opened during the Revolutionary War, when the Brits kind of had to, were being defeated, and trade route was open between the US and France. This is another gorgeous example from Westman's book, A Beautiful Passementerie. And then we go a little forward in history to the Victorian era, and this was like the high times of fringe and trimmings and passementerie. And when I really say trim, I want to say that is when there was an evolution from the hand looms, right, that people were using to make this trim, which is actually having a resurgence, by the way, to machines. So this is a hand loom machine, and this is also in northern Italy, and there is a museum of passementeria, and these are my friends at Antica Fabrica. But I wanted to show you, so it evolved to this, everything became mechanized during the Industrial Revolution. And this is in the Victorian era after Queen Victoria. So these trims here are mechanized trims. These are all made by machine. And the gown, which is at the Met, this was made with machine-made trimmings. So what happens is as things trimmings are become available to the merchant class. So then the royalty were kind of waning from passementerie because it didn't have as much status as it used to. Now that these, lower classes, the merchant class, got their hands on this embellishment. So now I want to talk a little bit about, there's lots more I can say about this. Actually, this is about 30 slides out of about 300 slides that I give a lecture at the New York School of Interior Design, and most recently at the Bard Graduate Center for Decorative Arts. But what I wanted to also note is, a lot of trimmings use both machine and handwork. So the modern bead on the bottom is, the top, the header is all by machine, but those balls are all made wrapped by hand, one by one. So when you're looking at how expensive something is, you're going to know why. Let's see. Whoops. Hold on. I lost my screen. Oh, bugger. Let's see. I was trying to do video. Okay, let me do this again. We're gonna go from current slide. So let me try to do this video again. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back. Okay, I'm gonna be very gentle with the mouse. You're right, Sandra, about the mouse. Here we go.
Finicky today.
So this is one of the machines that is at one of the factories that I work at, and this machine is actually from the 20s, and it's kind of like a maypole. So there's a filler, and then all this yarn is wrapped around the filler, and this is for a tubular braid. And when I was working in New York, actually a factory that I do work with now, they still have this machine, and their machine is from the 20s. This particular machine is probably from the 40s. Okay, so now I want to show you some modern embellishment, and I thought these were some kind of more innovative fabrications. I love this kind of hashtag or window pane design on an ottoman, modern and cool. This is from our friends at Wesley Hall, and I love how they mix the pattern. And this is a gimp that's like a tape with Turkish knots. Again, this is another window pane. I just love Century has this modern fabric with this royal blue grosgrain. So I love taking especially industrial materials and reworking them to elevate them. I love the style. This is by Wesley Hall too, I think. So this is super cool. Just look how this racing stripe comes down the middle of these chairs. I just think that's super fabulous and makes it so modern. And this is by the fabulous Sandra Van Sickle. This is a Roman shade, but what I wanted to point out is you see how she puts a linen base underneath this picot edged ribbon to really make it stand out. I mean, this is like totally masterful. I love that. These are some examples of pattern play, using jacquard tapes. And then the other passementerie is on like the gusset of the seat cushion, which I think is just so cool. And it just adds a level of interest. And this is from a designer from the Washington, D.C. show house. Again, really graphic. And P.S. like Instagram is a game changer with trimmings too, because you really are thinking from a photography standpoint. And there's so much pop here. It's just gorgeous. Here's playing with fret tapes, or not fret tapes, but making a fret out of a solid tape. This is from our hotel in Venice. Actually, Jill, you might see that this is familiar, but this is really, I saw so many photographs from Natalie Wood to Grace Kelly from the 40s, where this tight brush fringe, it's kind of like the pink one is like a caterpillar fringe, is being used on the seat cushions. And then the other one is from Corey Damon Jenkins. Is that right? Okay, but he did this for leathercraft, and I love how this fringe is just going to tickle your knees when you sit in that beautiful velvet piece. This is from Lily in August, and again, this is like a double welt. This is a really short, like a 1 1/4 inch. Again, you can see how trimmings, even with the welting, how it's really outlining the architecture of the piece, and I think it's so photogenic and gorgeous. This is a Amalfi Coast inspired canopy. This is Raymond Boozer, who's a fabulous New York designer. This is from the Hampton Show House. And this is from, I can't remember, I think it's Century, but look at this gorgeous bullion. But again, I love the contrast, and look at that bolster. So I wouldn't be able to make that in a million years, Sandra. I'm sure you could fabricate that. I just think this is gorgeous. This is like a modern bullion or skirt fringe where it's crisscrossed and hand wrapped on an ottoman, and then you can see the cording really outlining the star shape on top. And my all-time favorite, this is Lorenza Botoli from Milan, and she has created these patterns using fringe, and I'm actually working on a project now with this as inspiration. I think this is so cool. This is from our friends at Samuel and Sons, and this is a lighting fixture. And excuse me one second, Lang, I'm doing a live. Can you just hold on? Thanks. So this is a macrame shade with a tassel fringe with a tape on it. And I think this is an outdoor yarn. This is just gorgeous. And I wanted to point out that tassels are always handmade. There's no other way. I heard that there was a tassel machine somewhere, but I think it has elastic in it, and it's really, really cheapo. And you can see when you buy tassel fringe, if you look at where the neck of the tassel is, where the binding would be, you can see if it's rolled in on itself with elastic, that elastic is going to dry out and fall apart. Really good tassels are always handmade. And they're my favorite, especially on Tassel Tuesday. This is Norwalk Furniture with this just totally cool. Look at that color block and that tassel boom. Some fun shoes. We take so much inspiration from fashion. This is Patricia from Southern Shades. I love how she just drapes the tassel. It's not like a ponytail, real tight, gorgeous. I want these flats. And this is like the ultimate in luxury travel. This is just beautiful. So I wanted to mention, this is one of my favorite quotes from Coco Chanel, that an interior is the natural projection of the soul. And I feel that within my own home. And I know that we all are helping people, clients, really try to live in more beauty. And I think we do that. And what I believe is that embellishment is again, creative form of self-expression, and using trimmings is a powerful design tool to make your interior part of your soul. And I think that's the end of that. I went really fast. Shout out to me, anybody. You can reach out to me if you want any of these photos. Just DM me on Instagram. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of here, Sandra, so I can get back to you here.
That's okay. I can
There
see.
we go.
Yes.
We got it.
That was wonderful.
Did that work?
Yes, you're here. You're here. Working
All right.
technology.
Do I have a couple minutes? I have a couple things I want to show.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Give me a time check. Give me like the 1 minute.
We've got about like 3 to 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna go. Well, I forgot. I was gonna say hello to you all with my Venetian mask. This is one of the things that we made with our makers, but I wanted to show you all the trim. What was so cool is that we all brought our own fabrics and trim to work with Rugadoro, Sarah Rugadoro. So I'm going to show you things that I've made with trimmings. I wanted to show you a little more up close. One of the trends I see happening is really layering. So this is a layered modern bead, and then we have the brush fringe with a cord on it as well. So I think it just all adds designer details. This is a gorgeous, sorry that it's backwards. Here we go. Can we see that? There we go. We have a Greek key. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I got to go this way. Okay. A Greek key with a modern bead here, and that's, on a cushion. I love this piece. Sarah helped make this piece. This is a big passementerie with pom-poms. So that is super fun. Another thing that I've done with passementerie is I've made napkin rings. So I take a passementerie and then I just close it in the back to create napkin rings. So this is a little show and tell. I also wanted to show you, so on my Thursday lives, I always make something. So this is part of my Galentine's bracelet that I made. I recently made these fringe and fabric Italian bevilacqua, tessitura bevilacqua velvet. I made these. So I'm just kind of giving you guys ideas. I have a couple more. This is my embellish box that we're going to give away, but someone can really decide what color that they want. But when you buy an embellish box, it's really chock full of a ton of trimmings, and then you can decide really what you want to do with the trimming. So I just give you the ideas. That's called the Goldie, and this is a beautiful purple color.
Beautiful.
And it's all full of ribbons, some sequins that has some rickrack in it. This is some of my vintage trim that I put into the boxes. So I really work from my collection. I wanted to show you on when I met with Jill, this is an amazing, talk about merch. This is a beautiful silk like robe from Jill. And then what I did is I took the belt from the robe and I made tassels. So Jill, I love wearing this and I always think of you on a more spring morning when I wear that. A couple more things. This is a wall hanging that I made out of trimmings where instead of looming yarn, I loomed trim, and that was an art project that I worked on. So these are just ideas, but that would be cool to do for a client. I embellish shoes. This was a project that I did. So whenever I do my trade shows, I really try to trim myself out. These are some jeans that I trimmed. You see those are really fun. They're fringed, and this is a vintage ribbon that's really art deco. I love those. Couple more things. I really had a lot to show you all. This is a pocketbook that was just a plain gold vintage, not very expensive, but I really wanted to trim it out for a party. So I added the tassels, I added it's hard to see with the glare, and the passementerie button. So, embellishment and trimming really give you the opportunity to elevate something. So whether it's an interior or whether it's in fashion, I have a couple more things. This is a necklace all out of trimming. So this would be something really fun to do out of scraps. Jill, I love how you said, you take the leftovers of the tray to create something. And I think I love that because it's like when you have this parameter, you can you have to figure it out. It's a challenge. I have another necklace that I made on my show 2 weeks ago. So this is working with fabric petals. And Sandra, I think you went to the fabric to M&S Schmalberg when I did my New York tour. So I do
Yeah, yeah.
tours in New York as well. And so this was made out of all of those. One last thing, this is my ode to RBG necklace of all pineapple frogs. These could certainly be put on pillows as well. And Sandra, that's the Trim Queen show and tell.
Cute. Yay, everybody. Give Jana a thumbs up out there. And you've got great
Thank you.
comments. Really amazing to see, the fresh and creative use of trims. And you didn't mention that that the last trim, one of the trims was on a plate, someone said. And you're
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. We auctioned that out off the for the Hearts for Hunger, and Jill too had a plate in that auction.
and then your embellishment boxes are gorgeous, and we're going to give away one later, so stay
Yeah.
tuned. And then I was wondering how it would be to add, Bumbleroot Design said, I was wondering how it would be to add trim to handbags. And that was great, very pretty. Great. And you
Oh
know
yes,
what?
yes.
Every time I see you put out there the bullion photos of bullion friend, I'm like, is it coming back? Is it coming back? But I did say that modern twist of it, the modern
Hmm.
bullion, that I love. I've seen that there was that I saw that with Fringe Market, I think has got some
Yes,
out.
they
So
do a beautiful version of that.
that's
And I think what's so cool about that is when you do it in a natural color and then you can do the cording, it really just outlines the shape of whatever piece you're using. I think it's really like modern and kind of haute. It's really, really cool application, but it's very designer. It's not for everyone, but that's also something that you could add to an existing piece. And that's what I like to show too, is that you can embellish on things that you already have, whether it's your jeans, whether it's your chair, whether it's your pillow, you can add on and make it very designer. I did want to add, and thank you for you reminded me before we got on, is that I am, I work for all these other companies creating collections, but I am going to have my own collection launching summer, I would say around summer, early fall. So that's something that's in the works because I feel like workrooms, I want to do a really essential like workhorse collection. So when you can do all those fret designs and all the soutaches for the welting, like I want to be your go-to. So that's the next thing on my embellished plate.
I love hearing that. And please tell me you'll come here and we can showcase it. So,
I would love that.
yeah.
I would love that.
And also, one question from Jane: are tassels trending on balances, window treatments more currently?
No, I would say, it's been a long time before I saw, they are, I would say they're not trending. Tassels, like key tassels, those are trending. Those are hot. But more tiebacks, that's really for more traditional and kind of restoration. That's where I'm seeing those. So not in the modern home so much. Like if I had those and a realtor would come in, they'd be like, take those down. It seems a little too fussy for now. But what looks really cool is, and I don't have one here, but if you take a banding and use a banding to put as a drapery tie back instead of the tassel. So, and the other thing is things now are more monochromatic. It's not, remember the like burgundy, gold, olive, that whole thing. That's when the tassels were kind of hot in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, mid 90s. But now people like to see more color block, color blocking and solid colors. And I think that has a lot to do with Instagram and social media because they just photograph so much better. And so it's interesting times. We got to go with the flow.
And one more question before we move on is: where can we buy your shoes? Gretchen wants to know.
The heels.
Ooh, well, you can buy the embellish box to embellish your own shoes, but we could talk. If you really want me to do them, you can send them my way, and I'd be happy to work with you on that. We could do a little FaceTime workshop.
That's wonderful. And listen, everyone, please follow Jill as well as Jana out there on all the social media. As a matter of fact, you've received the emails with all their links and also In the very beginning of today's broadcast in the chat, I have also have all their links in there. So please follow everyone. And Renee's going to be here soon. You can be able to follow them as well. And don't forget to stay to the end because we're going to be giving away the embellish box. So
Thank you, Sandra. Bye, Jill.
thank
You guys, ladies are amazing. I'm going to head on over to YouTube. And thanks, everyone, for joining today. Super excited about this.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, everyone, stay tuned because we are going to bring on Renee Rizzi from American Down and Feather. But first, let's look at this video because it's going to give you a little bit more idea of what she's going to be talking about. Hi, everyone. Let me get there. I gotta make sure I hit the right button. I'll say hi to Jill real quick. Here we go.
It's Adam and Sophie back with another Spotlight video.
Today we're at American Down and Feather, where they manufacture everything from throw pillows to comforters for a ton of different industries.
And they specialize in customized products, which means the clients can choose every little detail, from the size to the material to the filling.
And they do it all right here. Personally, I like my pillows a little bit firmer.
Well, I'm a fluffy man myself.
But regardless of your pillow preference, I bet you don't know a ton about the manufacturing process or how we get from feathers to finished product.
First off, let's talk filling. Now, pillows can be stuffed with natural materials like feathers or synthetic materials like polyester fiber.
Hi, I'm Eric Weiland. I'm the production manager here at American Down and Feather. We manufacture custom pillows, comforters, cushions. You can think of a design or have a shape, we'll manufacture that product for you in down or synthetic products. Down and feather products are a little more expensive. Synthetic products are a little less inexpensive. If a customer wants something in synthetic, maybe they have down allergy issues. I find for warmth issues, down and feather has a more insulating factor. So people that want a warmer comforter, they may choose a down and feather comforter versus a synthetic comforter. We have recycled fiber, called our poly green fiber, that's made from recycled pop bottles. It has a green tint to it because of pop bottles being green and white.
One of the coolest things that happens here might surprise you. They produce eco-friendly dog beds by using recycled plastic bottles. This process produces a quality product that not only keeps pets, but the planet in mind.
So everything is cut and sewn right here on site. We use a higher grade downproof ticking. It's a 230 thread count material. It's all sewn here, locked, stitched together, and that way we have a much more superior product.
This can't be that hard, right? It comes out pretty fast. I can handle it.
With products in homes and hotels across the country, American Down and Feather is clearly doing something right.
Yeah, and by specializing in custom-made products, they found a way to merge design ideas and functionality into quality American-made products.
That's a wrap.
Man, I'm tired. Are you tired?
It's been a long day.
I could nap.
Nap time.
Hello, Renee. How are you? Thank you for being here today.
Hi, Sandra. I'm great. How are you? Hello out there to everybody.
Yeah, it's great. Everyone, this is Renee Rizzi, and some of you may already know her. You may have already have an account with American Down and Feather. But again, thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your Saturday. I know I love your products, and I'm excited for others to hear more about the type of inserts that you carry. Now, I will tell you that I've just found out recently that you carry foam too. So I wanted to say that right off the bat because I didn't know it, and I don't want to miss it. So tell us a little bit about the company, what type of inserts, and anything you want us to know.
Okay, well, first of all, thanks for having me here today. And hello out there to everybody. So coming out of what we just saw, which, with Jill and Jana, which is, so colorful, all of our products are white. So it's not as colorful, but hey, if it wasn't for us, some of that would not be able to take place because we are what goes on the inside. So just by saying that, I just wanted to make sure that we are aware that there's what we call an inside beautiful, and that refers to what goes into the cushions and the throw pillows and the comforters and sleep products and everything else. At American Down and Feather, we have all these products and more. We even carry some upholstery supplies as well. So first, I just like you to remember a few things about the company that makes us stand out from other companies that do the same thing. So we do have extremely personalized service. We're actually a family-owned business, and Heather and Hannah in our office are mother and daughter. The guy you saw in the video, Eric, is married to Heather, and my partner that I've been involved with for 5 or 6 years now is the owner of the company. So, and how we met, we go back to grammar school, but that's another story. But anyway, so we are one nice, big, dysfunctional, great family in the factory, and we have a lot of fun. So Eric's been with the company for over 20 years, and the owner, my partner Paul, bought the company from Eric's parents. So it is, like I said, one big happy family. So why should we be your go-to company? Well, and I am reading some notes just because, who can remember all of this to make it flow nicely. We have no minimum order requirements, which is very different than some of the other companies out there. And we've been, like I said, experts in manufacturing for over 20 years of high quality products. So we're a B2B business, and that's directly to interior designers. And we thrive on hearing from you and getting feedback and helping you in your projects. So if nothing else, remember that number one, we are best in personalized service. We have no minimum requirements. And also we are experts in high quality manufacturing. And we've been doing it for over 20 years. So that's pretty much a lot of the reasons why our clients keep coming back. Especially, once they receive the products, they realize what great work we do. But there is more. So we also specialize in custom and standard throw pillow cushions, sleep pillows, including a CBD coated fabric sleep pillow that we have now, the comforters, mattress toppers, dog beds, as you heard in the video, travel pillows or neck pillows, and bulk materials. And as you heard Eric say, we use the 230 thread count ticking, which is what we have for all of our product, and that is versus the more widely used 180 thread count. So we offer designer quality down, which is a 2 to 4 centimeter feather, which is sourced primarily in the USA, and they're ethically harvested and cleansed up to 7 times before they actually go into the product. And all of our products can be found on the website, which is americandownandfeather.com. And we recently upgraded this website to include custom calculators. So you can custom size your pillows, your cushions, and other products as well. It's really easy. You pick your product, you pick your size, you pick your fill, and you're on your way. For bulk products, though, we do have them on the website, but we ask that you call for them. During this pandemic, and I'm sure you guys have realized as well, some products have been more difficult to get than others. So we want to make sure that we have enough product to make what requests we have and to fulfill our orders. So at times, we may not be able to sell bulk product. So that's the reason why it's not up on the website, just to order. And then fibers and fills. A word about fibers and fills. So we offer the 100% down, white duck goose or white goose down or white duck down, the down and feather blends. So that's your 1090s, your 2575s, your 5050s, soft feather blended down, which is soft feather and fiber, polyester, polysilk, and polysilk is a hypoallergenic polyester microfiber, and it's an alternative for down. And it's a great alternative for down, and it is, like I said, hypoallergenic. And we are giving away the 2 pillows today that are organic cotton covered poly silk. And you saw the organic cotton cover in the video, if you kind of noticed. And it's it's actually my most favorite sleep pillow in the world. So we are giving 2 of those away today. So all of the information, even about our fibers and fills, and suggestions of which fibers and fills are good for certain products can be found on our website. So that being said, there's one more thing that we can do, and that's listen to you guys. And we'll quote any custom soft good products or project that you need. We've produced cubed cushions, spoon-shaped pillows, as well as many custom sized and shaped cushions for homes, businesses, airlines, boats, and more. And so if you think of us as a pillow, you can think of us as a pillow business, but not just a pillow business. So that's all I have to say. I hope that some of this information you weren't aware of, and that we've made American Down and Feather a company that you'll think about as your go-to inside beautiful insert company. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Like I mentioned, there are some I didn't mention this yet, but there's some pain points within our industry, and you will definitely cover that. And one of them is, like someone was mentioning about the foam, and we hear a lot of folks wanting to know about custom sized duvets, down duvets.
Yes, and that's part of what we do. We can custom size any of those type of soft goods. And yes, we have foam. Yay!
Yeah, that's right. And I said, I don't know the answer. And then the other thing too is what always comes to mind with your company is that you will make the pillow the size that we need. Often, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit too, is that often we have to buy a larger insert for when we produce the outer cover of a pillow. And so when we go to order, if we're going to make an 18 by 18, well, we automatically order a 20 by 20 insert to make sure it's full. But if we tell you we want a 20 by 20, then when we get it, we don't have to worry about going up that one size.
Absolutely. We don't upsize. Yep, absolutely. Yep. It is what it is. Yep.
Now that's exciting. And also for a lot of upholsterers out there, even for the workrooms too, there's often that we need, the down wrapped cushions, and they're hard to have sourced. So it's great to know that you all do that as well.
Yes, yes. And we do outdoor and indoor cushions. So, what we have in the way of foam and, how we use the dry fast foam and the Dacron wrap to make a very high quality product.
Perfect. Now I have a question for you. Have you ever gone to like a Weston and slept on one of their heavenly beds?
Yes, that sounds just like my bed every night, because
well, you were describing the the giveaway, the poly silk organic cotton, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I am going to order some of those because it's hard to find a really, really nice pillow, I find. So yes, I'm going to give that a try.
No, yeah, and unfortunately, I was in the travel business for a long time before I started with America Down and Feather, and stayed in many hotels. So I am so thrilled now to be able to appreciate a good pillow and bedding, because and it's unfortunate when I do travel now, the first thing I go and look at when I'm in a hotel room is oh my God, am I going to have to sleep on that pillow?
I think
And
so.
it's very funny, but we really do produce great products, and you do want to kind of take them with you when you go places. But
I would too. Does anybody have questions for Renee out there? Um, sometimes there's a little delay in the broadcast, so but
and it's okay if you don't. You can you can email me at renee@americandowninfeather.com
okay,
directly. I'd be happy to, answer any of the questions.
okay,
Or if something comes up next week, please, if it's a question you have about a particular project that you're working on, or whether if you're interested in something you're not quite sure that we do, you can either email me, call me, or call the factory directly. Like I said, Hannah and Heather are both in the office and would be, able to answer your questions. Eric is right there too, in the factory. So sometimes it might even be faster to call them. I don't work in the factory out there. We are in Colorado. We're outside of Denver. But I'm in New Jersey. So it would be, yeah. But anyway, any which way you would like to contact us, we're more than happy to service you guys. And I thank you so much for your support.
well, thank you for all that you do for our industry too. I mean, it's so important to have good sources, to go to. We do have a couple of comments. Sharon loves the quality inners. About the sizings and weight. So you can order an 18-inch pillow insert for an 18-inch cover. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
And if you want it overstuffed. Now, so the other part of that question is, do you need to specify if you want it overstuffed? Well, I guess if you want it really stuffed, you should. But if not, if you order 18, you're going to get an 18.
Yes, and what we have, when you go on the website, and it's very easy. It should be quite, it's easy to navigate. Put it that way.
Okay.
So when we go on the website, if you go under our custom throw pillow sizes, we offer what when you pick your size, you pick your fill. Then we have another drop down that says light, regular, or heavy, or something like that. And we fill our normal practice is to fill for the medium, but if you wanted it lighter or heavy, you can actually even just choose that on the website.
Very good. Very good. You already told them where you were located, and I think that's it. And don't forget, everyone, she's got giveaways, and we're going to do that at the end. Jill, don't let me forget. That's the most important. And also, everyone, in your email that you received today, there is the American Down and Feather brochure. I put that into the email, Renee, so they will have that. And again, all the links are in there for everyone, and so they'll be able to reach out to you easily. So,
Thank you so much.
okay, thank you, Renee, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, everyone, we are ready to go on to the skill swap. It's my turn. And so Jill's getting into place, and I'm going to change the view, and we are going to get there. There you go, and I'll duck my head.
I'm super excited for this.
Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, Jane. I hope that everyone is enjoying this broadcast today. It's certainly been a pleasure. Let me move my things. We've kind of done a little switcheroo here, and I need to do some more switching. So we have some other
looks delicious
techie
bubble pins.
Isn't it bubble pins? Yeah. So I hope that you all are enjoying today, and hopefully we can do more of this in the future. We've already back here we know what we want to do next, because it's so much fun. So thank you all for being here. Now I'm going to tell you, we're going to move through this section, but we're going to run late.
Okay.
I hate to say that for a few minutes.
And I'm kind of can already hack my way through sewing, and I sew well enough to make pretend samples.
Yeah.
But I could never sell anything I sew. But zippers is always the thing I've never gotten to. So
Okay.
that's where I'll slow down.
Okay.
For you, so
No
I'll try to
problem.
be speedy.
No problem. So I'm going to scooch in there. And so if you guys would just hang in there, that's fine. If you got to go, fine. You have the link to get back in here to finish up later. But this is a fun part. And I know I've had quite a few of you reach out, and everyone's interested in all the parts. And I thought, I'll have the boring part. And everybody goes, no, I want to know
It's
that
not
too.
boring at all.
So, okay. So the little pillow, well, first of all, I've told you all my name, and I think by now everyone knows that I own a custom drapery workroom here in Apex, North Carolina. But not everyone, knows that I'm also an educator. I have some videos out there, some instructional how-to videos, and more are coming. I also do online training, and I have a lot of people reach out to me and say, I can't make it there, especially since COVID. And so, will you teach me? And I said, sure. So we set up a time to do that. I'm also the director of Workroom Central. It used to be the construction zone for the IWCE, and many of you know about that, the expo. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we'll be back on track for next year. So we'll see you hopefully in person. Okay, let's get on with this little pillow.
Excited.
All right. So this, first of all, I want to tell you how versatile this little pillow is. I love it because it has a 3-sided flange, okay? And it doesn't have the flange on the bottom. And the benefit of that is, we don't have to worry about working around it, number one,
To do the zipper?
To do the zipper. And I mean, there is a way to work around if you want a 4-sided one. But what's fun about this? It's just the right size. It's a great lumbar size. And you can adjust it to whatever size that you want it to be. But think about it. When you do put a flange on the bottom and you put it down, you kind of smash it anyway. Okay.
You might even be able to get more pillows out of a yard of fabric without that extra flange.
Exactly. So it's a quick and easy pillow. I know a lot of folks can will use some scrap fabrics whenever they're working with a project with a designer or a client, and they like to give a little gift. Well, this is like the perfect little gift because usually we do have some extra fabric left over, and I just want to show you a couple little versions that I have of it, just to spark your imagination. Of course, that was Jill, and we're going to get back to that one real soon. Love it. But you can make them and you can embellish them as well. Take some of the Trim Queen's ideas.
My head is exploding, and I think for the rest of my life, but I'm going to be pairing trims with fabrics.
Yes, exactly.
And thinking of ways to use it.
I know.
I have a million, I can't wait to start really finding creative ways to use.
Well, because even, you can take like this one here, and if you have, braids are really big now. And you could definitely adhere around the area that we stitched out with the flange. There's no reason why you can't put them on there. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but you can see that it's very versatile. And if you guys have what is it called? A cricket? Cricket?
I like a cricket.
A cricket.
It's the Aussie way of saying it.
Exactly. If Sharon's here, Sharon can say it. She's not Aussie, but she's New Zealander. But sorry, Sharon, people do get it confused sometimes. But you can even take and use your cricket machine and really decorate these up any way that you want. Okay? All right. So we're going to get into it.
I'm excited.
I'm going to start talking about the fabric placement first, okay? Because these pillows do not have a seam at the top. They're basically one strip of fabric. Sorry, I didn't layer that right for us. It's basically one strip of fabric, and you can see that it would work really well with what we will call a non-directional print, Okay.
Mhm.
So, Jill, I really liked your marbling fabric because as I laid it out and I looked at it, I'm going to do an overhead shot real quick here. You know, you could almost say that it is, you know, non-directional, right?
Well, it doesn't have a regimented pattern, which is like, even though you see a direction, you can choose the direction,
Right.
and it doesn't matter if it's up or down.
Exactly. Exactly. And so when I mentioned to you that you can use a fabric that's non-directional, you still might want to, this white here is kind of playing with my eye a little bit. It's my fault because I laid it up there. Yeah, there you go. So you can, but you might want to pick out some of the features that are in the design to highlight, you know, a feature on the front or the back of the pillow. And that's what, I've done here. I've looked at the fabric and I've decided that, well, I would really like to see this on one side. And once I chose that, I thought, okay, without a seam at the top, what's going to fall on the other side? And do I have to take and kind of maneuver it up or down or right to left to get what I want on this pillow without having a seam at the top? Now, one of the ways that I determine what I'm going to put on a pillow is I will lay my fabric out and I will take a step back, and whatever starts to jump out at me, and as long as it's within the colors and or the design that I want to highlight, right, I will just look at that, because a lot of times, when you're focused in on one thing, you might miss another part of the design, and later on think, oh,
That's so smart
really,
to walk away.
It
because
is.
you do see a room far away and
Yes.
then up close.
Exactly. Yep. And then I take my rulers and I will line my rulers up on the fabric and kind of block it out visually and pick out the elements that I want to use. Okay. So whenever I was looking at your fabric, and I knew that what I wanted on one side, and I thought, okay, let me go halfway on this fabric, and is that going to be pleasing to my eye to be at the top flange for both sides? And then how is it going to play out on the opposite side? So that's how I chose the pattern for this pillow. Now, one more example, and then I'm going to get into making this pillow here with Jill. Is, like I said, here's a little sea urchin, and it's non-directional too. But I wanted to make sure that they would line up nicely on the top. I didn't want to cut them in half or 3/4 or a quarter. I wanted to, again, to be pleasing to my eye. So think about that too. So pattern placement, okay, can be key. And if it happens to where the pattern's not going to line up just right, go ahead and put a seam at the top. It doesn't hurt at all, right? But this is just an easy way to do this. Okay, so with all that being said, yes, somebody said they take a photograph. Exactly. That is another really great way to do this. Right, so I chose for this build here, I went ahead and blocked it out, and I'm going to use my work order here for you. And then we can move this out of the way now. I was going to lay it out, but we already have this.
Okay.
And do that. But I just love this fabric. My colors. So for this pattern here, and I'm going to put it overhead on. I feel like I'm rushing because I don't want to keep people too late, but I'm going to calm down. Okay, so this pillow, okay, I went ahead and I cut it 21 inches wide, and I cut it 29 inches long.
And Sandra, did you do that based on the size of the fill you knew you were going to use?
Yes, I did. I knew that for this particular fill, I will have to admit I did not use I didn't order one from American Down to Feather, my fault. But I actually put a 14 by 18 in this, but my inside part, the inside from seam to seam from the flange is going to be 17 inches wide, and from the bottom where the zipper is to the top is going to be 12.5 inches tall. Now my flange is 1.5 inches on each side. Okay, so with all those calculations there, that's how I came up with my formula, where I want to make sure that I was going to have the tall, I was going to have 12.5 inches from, make sure I've got this right for you all, 12.5 inches from the bottom to the top here, twice, one for the front, one for the back, and then the 1.5 inch times 2 for the flange. I have the 1.5 inch flange for the top, one for the back, and then I added an extra 1 inch for zipper placement.
And then I have a question.
Sure.
What about the side seams? Did you account? Do you have to account?
Yes.
Or you're going to get to that?
Yep. So.
Okay.
And
that
then
was the top. Okay.
Yep. So that was the top. So I've cut that 29 inches long. Okay. Does that make sense now? Okay.
I jumped ahead of you.
Oh, that's all right. And then for the width, like I said, I knew that it was going to be 17 inches on the inside. And so I wrote down 17 inches, and I knew that I was going to have my flange on each side. So it's going to be 1.5 inches times 2, 3 inches for my flange. And then my seam allowance. So I only need a 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side. So that's 1 inch. So that's why I cut it 21 inches wide. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Cut it 29 long and 21 inches wide. All right. With my inside going to finish 12.5 wide and 17 wide. I'm sorry, and 12.5 tall, 1.5 inch flange. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we got that. Right. So we've cut that. Let me get these figures out of the way. This pillow is so quick and easy to make. So now I have my piece. I went ahead and I serged all my sides, okay? Simply because I like my sides finished. Now, granted, you're not going to see some of this on the inside, but I just went ahead and finished it.
Does it just make you feel a little more secure that it's not going to pull apart?
Exactly. It kind of depends, it depends sometimes on the some of the fabric that you're working with. It can fray, but it's just habit for me to serge all of it because it's going to be pretty on the inside.
Wear good underwear too. It's like you're under.
It's going to be good undergarment. It's going to be pretty on the inside as well as the outside. No, I know. When we sew this and we're going to put that flange in there, you're going to say, well, see, the sides are going to be hidden. It doesn't really matter. If you're in the habit and you're doing a custom drapery workroom, you just do it. Plus,
serging is so fun and simple, and it's just tidy.
It doesn't take at all.
Yeah.
And I did go ahead and I just went ahead and put a cotton sateen lining on the back. Your fabric really didn't need it, but again, sometimes it's just something we do in custom. We just go ahead and do it.
Gives it a nice.
It does. It just
no chance it would be flimsy and kind of fall over.
Well, I wanted to give the flange a little bit more oomph.
Okay.
Sometimes they want to flop. It bothers some clients, and some clients they don't really care.
This is a nice. You can pop a collar on it.
Right. You can see how this one it popped up. Where can you see this one? It's been hanging around for a while, and it's flopping. And that one there, just a little bit more oomph. And
actually, I can really see a difference.
Can you see it?
Like I would probably be inclined to do that.
You can also add a layer of inner lining if you want to. Yeah, and Sharon said you can serge just at 2 narrow ends, right? Or you can zigzag it too. And right, so but I would at least do something on the 2 short ends because that's where the zipper is going to go. Okay. But again, it depends on you and your fabric and if you have a serger and all that. All right. So now that's cut out, it's lined and it's serged. What we're going to do is we are going to insert the zipper. Okay, so when we insert the zipper, I'm going to go overhead for you. All right, we're going to take a grid. I use these quilters grid every day, I think. And this is going to be the zipper in. Okay, and I'm going to fold it in half, just like this. And I'll flip this back. With this pillow, remember, you're going to have the 1/2 inch, 1.5 inch flange on each side, right? You're going to have a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay. So let's go ahead and mark this on each, come in each in 2 inches.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to take, it doesn't matter how we do this. I'm going to do on this. So we're going to go 2 inches here.
Oh, so you're following this.
Yeah, I'm going to follow the grid this way. And this is zipper edge and zipper edge. And I've just put right sides together to make it easy. So I'm just going to mark it.
You're so bold with that pen. I'd be so shy.
This is a Rollies fabric marker, and it will erase. Okay. So it will come off. All right. It will. It's got an eraser on the opposite end.
Oh, okay.
So, but it is a fabric marker, and I always tell everybody in any of my videos, any of my training, make sure when you use any kind of a fabric marker that you test your fabric first, because the last thing you want to do is work with one and it doesn't come out. And you've got to watch silks. You've got to watch certain fabric with different sizing on them. So always test first on a scrap. Okay, so I'm going to 2 here, okay? And I'm going to do the same on the opposite side, okay? I'm going to come over here. And just easier to layer it too. And you're just going to come over 2 inches. And I'm going to 2 inches and 2 inches. Because I need, we don't want the zipper to be in here. Okay, because it would just be in the way and clunky and all that kind of thing. And that's kind of, this is the area that we're marking off right here. See? Okay, and the zipper, you can see where the zipper starts, right on the inside. All right. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take our zipper. This is an invisible zipper, and we know that it's invisible because if you look at it here, this is the wrong side. And the wrong side, the teeth are kind of facing you. And if you turn it over, this is the right side. You don't see any of the teeth. Okay. Now we want to make sure that the zipper is, we're going to stop and start the zipper in here. Now I know it's a little bit longer, and that's okay. We can cut some of it off later, but we're going to work with this. So we're going to put right sides together.
Okay.
We go to home ec school when we were younger, that right sides go together. So we're going to turn this over. All right. And we're just going to lay this down, and it's overlapping on the edge, and that's fine. And I want to go ahead and mark that same 2 inches on my zipper. Should I be letting you do this?
I could.
Okay. Go ahead. You mark that.
And then let me see where that. Okay.
Because now you want to make sure that all these purple lines are going to match up. That pretty much makes sense, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do is, while it's right sides together, because I know a lot of times you can get a little confused with an invisible zipper. Even I do sometimes. I have to sit down and go, wait a minute, how does it go? Okay. Right sides together.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Don't be saying that, forgive somebody. Okay, so now I'm going to open this up. Oh, one more thing. I didn't do it on this end, but I did do it on the opposite end of where my zipper head is. I went ahead and I zigzagged across the edge. Because if you've ever put a zipper in, you can rethread it. You can
so if it comes apart on that side.
Yeah, but I get overzealous and I go whoop, and off it goes, and I go, and you have to line everything up. Okay. So this is the way you can avoid that. A little bit. Okay, just don't run it off the other end. Okay, right sides together. Okay, and we're going to unzip.
Past that.
Yeah, you can unzip all the way down.
Okay.
Yep, and see, if we didn't have that on, you see,
you'd have just gone right off the edge of the cliff.
And so, and now because you've already started it this way, you can see where the teeth are going in. And if you look real close, if you take your finger, you can just kind of roll that back a little bit.
Okay.
And see right along here, there's a little twill. It looks like a twill tape almost.
Yes.
And then right closer to the teeth, it's kind of solid.
Okay.
The twill kind of stops. Well, that's the area that you're going to stitch into.
Do you want to stitch in that blank area or right on the line of the twill?
You can stitch into that blank area.
Okay.
Yeah, not on the twill. Okay. But I'm going to have you take one extra step. Okay. Now, I like to line my edge of my zipper up with the top of my serging.
Okay.
So that, yes, that does mean I'm going to take a little bit more than probably a 1/2 inch seam allowance, but in the overall scheme of things, it's okay.
Okay.
All right, you're just not taking off much. But we're going to match your purple markings, okay? And then you're going to, and I'm going to tell you the extra steps you're going to take in a minute. I jumped in there and said that. I'm going to put a pin in here just to kind of hold it, okay? And I want you to go ahead and line that up. And especially, make sure that that's down there. And just maybe put in a pin here and then pin down there.
All right. Do you do this in your pro state or do you still
all the time. Sometimes I do.
I'm sure.
Yes, and yes, Sharon, this is a zipper. This is zipper on the roll that we do. You can buy a ready-made zipper if you want to.
Where do you get zipper on a roll?
I buy from Rolly Company, and there's a lady out there out of Colorado called the Zipper Lady. So those are my
the zipper queen.
Yeah, zipper queen, zipper lady. Yeah, everyone knows her, Alicia. And so those are my two go-to places for zippers: Rolly Company and the Zipper Lady. So, yeah.
Okay. I have a question for the designers or anyone. Do people prefer hidden zippers to,
they're wowed when we can put in a visible zipper. They are wowed over that. I don't, because we don't put in an invisible zipper, then we're going to have to put in a little flap on the back of some kind. And sometimes we have to do that.
Past that?
Nope. You're just going to go to there because now you're going to stitch from purple mark to purple mark.
Okay.
Now, some of you out there may take this extra step, and some of you may not. If you are, if you're a pro and you go for it, you don't. But I like to teach it this way because it's easier to handle. When you're getting at the sewing machine and you're trying to keep everything lined up and you don't want it to shift and you got to pull out pins and all that, it's easier for me to tell you, we're just going to go and we're going to just top stitch it here in the twill area. Okay. And that's kind of an extra basting stitch. If you will.
So it just gives you
because
an extra hand.
Getting up inside of this little roll area, that can be a pain sometimes. And if you're trying to hold on to it and stitch and get up into the roll, you're like, so we'll take one step at a time.
That's then when we call you to make the pillows.
Okay. So we're going to go over to the machine. We've already got it threaded. We already have a zipper foot in here, okay? And let me switch to cameras real quick so everyone can see where we're coming from. Hang on, and we're going to get closer in here. Just 1 minute. Okay. All right, so we can get a little bit closer so you can see what we're going to do here. That should be close enough because we gotta still. If we push it too far away from us, we can't see. Okay. Yes. And Sharon is a master pillow maker too.
Pro.
Yep. Okay. So again, we're going to take it and we're going to put it up in here to the machine, and you're going to start right here at the purple mark. Okay. And the pins going in this way, you're going to have to pull them out.
Okay.
If you have pins going in at a right angle, if you're sewing a seam, you can leave them in and go over them. Okay. But this way, it's not going to happen. So we do have a zipper foot, and I'm just going to position it here for you, and then I'm going to walk away and let you do it.
And all machines come with a zipper foot, right?
Like
you have
home machines, yes. Okay. So I'm just going to have you hold and stitch.
Okay.
And it doesn't. You can just stitch right down
in the
here.
middle of that.
Yeah, yeah. Go right ahead. And there's your foot.
It's like driving somebody else's car. I don't know how
Exactly.
your gas and brakes work here. So,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There you go.
It's not moving.
Okay, hang on. Just 1 second.
Oh, is the pin still in it?
No. Let's see. Let me lift this up. Let me maybe move this. This has got a little walking foot to it.
See, I've already wrecked your machine.
Oh, I know you did. Okay, there we go. All right, now.
Okay. Get all that stuff under there.
Yeah. I just started that.
Can I?
One.
Okay.
Started the purple mark. Yep. And hang on. I'm going to give you. Okay, go for it.
All right. So, what? Just kind of keep it.
Yep, you just keep. Now you're just keeping it lined up.
Okay.
With the tape, with the edge at the top of the serging. And again, you don't have to.
You probably whipped through this like you'd have had 4 done by the time. Like whenever I get in an elevator in North Carolina that goes up 2 floors and takes 3 minutes, I think if this was New York, I would be 50 floors. Okay.
Okay.
Love to see.
Now, when you get to that purple mark, you're going to stop, and then
on it.
Yeah, stop right on it.
Okay.
You don't have to give it a back tack just yet. In a little bit, I'm going to have you do the back tack. But
okay.
on this,
but this is just to hold it.
So, did you see how easy that was? Just to whip through it and not. Okay, so we're going to bring this up, and then now we're going to take it. Where's those scissors at? There you go. There's a little cutter there, but it's so cut close there. So you're going to trim off those.
Close here?
Yeah, just that way.
All right.
Okay.
And then
it
needs to get out of the way.
Pull that out and let's trim those threads off right away. You're working with zippers, especially an invisible zipper. And if you do not trim those threads out, you're going to be in trouble later, I tell you. You're just going to be jamming up on you and we won't go there.
What's your favorite brand of scissors?
That brand right there, Kai scissors. Those are some of the best that we use here in the industry. Yeah. Love them. Right. Okay. Now you're going to take this back to here, and now you're going to use kind of the nose of the foot. Okay. And you're going to get up close to that little flat area, and you're going to kind of push that roll just over. Okay.
Like just.
Yeah, you'll see it. Now you're going to get here.
Am I starting before the purple on this one?
Same on the purple. You're going to get right there on that purple.
Okay. So
do you see how that nose just pushes that over just a little bit?
So you lined it up to push it right from the start.
Yeah. And see how my needle position, I can probably move that position of that needle. Well, that just went a little bit too much. Okay. Tell me your angle. Is that good?
We're doing eye surgery. Yeah.
Let me go 1 smidge more. Okay.
Okay.
So go. And you see how that's pushing that?
Yes. Okay. So just keep pushing it.
Exactly. And see how you're getting up into that area there.
Oh, up in it.
And now you're not worried about holding everything. And
I'm worried. This is so much easier than I thought it was. Zippers is a huge mystery to most people. All right, now I'm looking through.
Now you're going. Now you're rolling. She's got it, girl. Give her a big. When you do that purple, you're going to stop.
Right on it?
Yeah, stop. Yep. Now here's my back button here.
Okay.
Give me a little back tack. Go forward.
We didn't back tack the front.
I know we didn't. I just realized
Should we have?
You can.
Okay.
But you don't have to. We'll be fine. Okay. But you should. Okay, up. And then trim those threads.
How much sewing tail do you like to leave to start the next one?
On a home machine, you're not too bad. Just, I don't know, inch and a half. Okay. On the industrial machines, if you don't have one, go tell. On an industrial machine, if you don't have a new Fandangle one, you'd be rethreading those things all the time.
So excited.
Okay, so excited. All right, now you're going to do the other side, girl. Okay?
Okay.
So now what you're going to do, you don't want to get confused, right? So why don't you take this and fold it, the fabric, kind of layer it right sides together a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Now turn it. Yep. Now why don't you now turn it over so that the part you sewed is on top. Just turn your fabric completely over. All right. And now you're just going to flip this part back a little bit.
Okay.
Like this. This way, when you're doing this, this is like a wife swap. So this way you don't get confused, because again, sometimes doing these invisible zippers, you can get.
How many times have you done a twisty zipper or backwards?
How many times have I taken them out? Yes. Okay, so let me give an overhead on that, because
should I pin again?
Yes, ma'am. And you're going to pin purple to purple. And see how important this purple to purple is?
I'm going to do my pins this way. But yes, I see.
Yes. Okay. It doesn't matter. Whatever works. Okay. So by layering your fabric back the way it should go, and then kind of flipping it back, is really going to be helpful for you. If you're laying it flat, you're going to like, how am I going to do this? And
okay.
And those purple marks are going to, marking that out. And if you were working with a fabric, say they're working with a stripe, okay, and you really wanted to say this is a stripe and you had it over here, when you lay out your zipper initially, go ahead and mark that on your zipper, and go ahead and mark it on both sides, so that while the zipper is closed, this way you can pin those points as well, so that when you put that zipper in and you go to close it, it's all lines up.
Okay, I have a challenge here.
Okay.
My purple is longer here.
Okay.
Is that all right?
So what you're going to do is take out a couple of your pins, because it's just shimmied up on you a little bit.
All right.
And just give it a little pull. And that
so it really does have to be. You can't
put it like that. No, you don't want to. You don't want to. You'll be able to pull it.
Okay. So then it's good to maybe secure that. And then
secure that first.
Start filling it in. I keep thinking that's blood. It's paint on my knuckle there. It's going to be blood soon, but.
Thanks for hanging in there with us, ladies. We're almost there. This pillow is, you can see how fast she's a good learner. She's a quick learner.
You're a good teacher, and I can't believe that I've let this be a mystery for 20 years.
It's a mystery for a lot of folks when it comes to putting in zippers. Okay, now what you're going to do, you're going to put this back in, and you're going to give it that basting stitch again. You're going to start with the purple mark right on that, and you're going to have to move that pin because it will break.
Okay.
And again, don't worry about getting up close there until you become, you go for it. But you saw, now see, you're going to have a little bit of ripple there.
All right, I'm kind of.
And so you're just going to give it a little pull. You're just going to pull
all
it.
Right, I'll see that.
You cannot forget the giveaways. You can't forget the giveaways.
Okay. I promise I'll work faster here.
You're all right. You've sewn zippers before.
I have not. I just I'm having fun with your presser foot or your.
Okay. Yep. There you go.
Bring it on home.
Bring it home. Okay.
And then
you can not on this one because you're going to get close and you're going to do the back tack.
And why waste the thread on a back stitch?
Oh, that's right. If we worked in a factory, we wasted that thread, we'd be fired.
Okay, so trimming up.
Trim it, because you don't want that, again, caught in
catching. Okay.
And as you're sewing, sometimes the bottom layer wants to pull up a little bit on you. Don't forget you can pull it. Yes, Sharon, you need some marble fabric. And yes, I'm using a zipper foot for my machine. I'm just using a regular zipper foot. I'm not using a invisible zipper foot.
Is there a difference?
There is a difference, and I don't have any luck with them, so I don't use them.
Okay, so same thing, but now mush it up.
Yep. You're gonna get closer again. You're gonna get
All
right, and you're gonna let the nose, and I'll show you that zipper foot in a minute too. You're gonna let the nose of that zipper foot.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Move it over a little bit more. Yeah. And not
you
too
really
much.
have to get the first one
No,
right.
okay. But you know what? And I forgot. Okay, I forgot one thing because we're so excited. Go ahead. We should always test it first, but go ahead. It works.
What do you mean? Oh, test the zipper?
Yeah, but it's gonna be okay. Go ahead.
Let go, let God. Here we go. And then I'm going to back it up on this, right?
Yeah, back it up. Hang in there, ladies. You may win some.
All right, I'm just going to kind of whip through this. I've gotten better at sewing from making masks. Okay.
That's not.
It's not.
It's good, yeah.
All right. All right, it's all over the place.
It's all right. Okay. Trim those threads.
Okay.
One thing I forgot to tell her. Whenever you put one side of the zipper all the way in, you just stop and test it. Because if you need to take it out, you need to take it out right then and there.
Yeah.
And so we're going to test this before we go any further. So go ahead. The best way to test it is to turn it right sides out.
All right.
And this is where you're going to be careful.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You got to be careful. Note how we got the head out that way. Okay.
I'm just going to kind of.
Okay. Stop.
Okay.
Okay. So now you can see it works, and you can see that you probably need to get a little bit closer.
Okay. And so is that just jamming it in more or putting your needle closer?
Yes, we can either or both.
This is a semi-hidden zipper.
Okay.
It's private but not hidden.
Okay. You want me to do it for you real quick? Or you want to do
Sure.
it?
Or,
you know,
I'll just know for next time.
It's up to you. It's your pillow.
Well,
we needed to get just a little bit
I don't want to kill
closer.
everybody's afternoon.
Girls, do we have time to just go
I'll tell you what.
everything?
I just understand that the next one.
Okay. Get a little bit closer.
Or should I?
You should. Just go
Okay.
straight right.
All right.
If you all have to leave, I'm sorry.
Can I leave it like this?
No, you got to unzip it. Let's do it right.
Okay.
You don't do it right the first time when you're going to have time to do it over. Okay, and you're never going to do it over. Private, but.
All right.
Everyone says they have time. Okay. It's just a Saturday afternoon. It's a Saturday. Yes,
it's a good productive.
Okay, and let me double check the needle. I'm at a really good angle, so
okay. So
I'm probably
maybe
good. Okay, so I'm going to help you out here.
She's the pro.
Let's see. There's a little skip here or something. Isn't there?
I don't know. It's a nice machine.
It's some technical difficulty. We got machine difficulty today.
I like watching the master at work.
I don't usually use my home machine.
So this is just your average machine?
Yeah, this is just the average machine. Okay. It's giving me problems. So. Sorry, girls.
And guys, if there's any questions.
Yes. Any questions?
Just take your time. It says you can do your top camera to show how close you're getting.
Good idea. Thank you. Very close. Okay. We'll probably get a little bit closer. I was at a different angle and I couldn't really see from my angle.
I'm always amazed at the kinds of machines and the power and the specifics of the real pro machines.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so see, we're going to get...
Oh, that is right on top.
Okay, see, it's right on top. Yeah.
Can you?
Can you see that? Yep. It just kind of rolls.
Yeah.
We probably could get a little bit closer on some of it too.
Is that the kind of thing that sewers kind of compete with silently? Is how good your zippers are, how close your
Oh no,
hidden
not
zippers
us. Oh no.
are. Like, what's the competition in sewing?
Oh yeah, this would probably be one of them. Yeah. Yep. Would be to get this zipper hidden completely.
Right. So somebody would look and go, Sandra only has mildly hidden.
Yeah, Sandra doesn't know what she's doing. That's what they would say.
So like the International Hidden Zipper Awards.
Yeah.
Here's
They would say,
here, get that.
okay. Yeah. We're trying to get these. I can do the video for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to get some of these threads. My machine was jumbling up. Yeah, blame the machine. It was. And it wreaked some havoc with us. And it's a good machine. It doesn't use it. Yeah, this is a home machine. The rest are industrial. And there's a lot of
afraid to pull that.
Because see that.
Did I get something caught in it when I was?
No, I don't know what caused it, but I don't think it was you.
I was spending your Saturday afternoons watching us trim. Here, get that when you're.
But I know that those are going to. It's real live, you girls. So hang in there with us. But you know what? This is good. This kind of things happen.
It shows you stuff that can happen, and
Mm-hmm.
I see that you're trimming away anything that could interrupt the zipper.
Yep.
Here's another one.
Okay. There you go. I think. See that one right there? Mm-hmm. That will just make your life miserable.
There.
Okay.
You're the boss.
All right, I'm going to quickly do this one here. And again, you see if I'm rolling it, there is the flat part, the twilly looking part, and then there's a flat part, and we need to get up inside of there. Okay.
Who knew? Who knew there was a twilly language on a zipper?
Yes, I know it. I don't know what else to call it. Somebody else maybe call it something different, but to me that works. Okay, I'm going to get up closer.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening with it. Y'all, hang on one second.
When in doubt, rethread.
Mm-hmm. Why rethread? You want to trim some of those?
Yeah.
I bet Martha Stewart never has these problems.
Martha Stewart has a staff.
Okay. When in doubt, yes. Let's just go ahead and rethread it. This doesn't take any time at all.
So when you're let's talk colors of zippers.
Okay.
How do you know what color zipper to use with a multicolor fabric?
Well, you just...
Or is that just a design decision?
Exactly.
Maybe you use a contrasting one.
Well, because they're hidden, you usually find the color that will blend the best.
Okay.
And, you know, there is no way that, well, there is a way, I guess, that we could, here in the workrooms, that we could carry all the different, color zippers, but we would have a small fortune wrapped up. So a lot of times, you know, we'll carry the basic colors, the whites, the creams, the grays, because grays, you know, they blend nicely with a lot of different fabrics, you know, and the creams do too. So, okay.
I'll be your string assistant to gather. When you sew, are you a messy sewer or are you tidy along?
I am, OCD comes in, I'll play a lot of times. There's something wrong with the machine. I just don't know what it is. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going because I don't want it to mess up on you. I do not know what's causing it.
Is it the spool? The bobbin?
Yeah. Sorry, ladies. We may have to do a quick version of
5
this.
o'clock and we're still.
I don't know. I just changed one thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's not. Of course, it never messes up until we go live.
So I can trim these.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Jane said too. That if you put in welt cord on, that it should match the welt cord. That's a good, That's a good thought. Yeah, I was. Okay, there is something. I think I.
See, you needed a perfect hidden zipper.
Right. Okay, I think we might have it now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
It was all tidied up and ready to go before.
Okay. There's a lot of little ones along here. I'll just.
Okay.
Da, 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 da. What music do you listen to when you sew? Or what do you listen to? Maybe nothing. Maybe the voices in your head, or Jana's always got an interesting trim circle going on.
Yes. Jane Murphy's Law. Mm-hmm. I do listen to music. I get really. I try to listen to books on tape and things. I think so. I'm gonna try it and see. Books on tapes and stuff like that. But it depends. If I've already done all my figuring and I want to work away, then it doesn't matter. But sometimes I just have,
It's just
quiet, or I have a playlist. I put a playlist on my Alexa.
And you have to whisper it so you don't order a roll of zippers.
Exactly.
Oh.
Okay.
I've got this.
All right, good. Where do we stop at? Let me see. So yeah, I have put my own playlist on there, and go ahead and trim that. I have my own playlist so I can listen to the music that I like to listen to. If you don't know how to do that, if you have play your regular radio station, or even you say play oldies or something like that, if there's a song that you like, create a playlist and say, Alexa, put that on my playlist, and she will. And then so I do that. Yeah. What about you?
Is Alexa in here now?
Yeah, she's in the other room.
Alexa, order a case of Veuve Clicquot.
And she's listening.
Does she only understand your voice?
I know. This is not.
Is it still skipping?
Yeah. So if you don't mind,
I don't mind.
I don't want.
I think.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. The message, the lesson has been received.
Yes. I don't want to.
Here, let me trim that.
Keep everybody and have more pain.
Okay.
That will mean that you won't have a zipper put all the way in. I mean, it will be
that'll
there.
be my lifelong lesson. When I see this, I'll just go. Okay. I know the difference now.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried everything and I have no idea why it's acting up. Murphy.
It's okay, because you know what? It's life. It's not perfect. You roll with it. This will be my reminder that we just roll with things. We're going with the zipper flow.
Today, done is going to be better than perfect.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I think I'm
wondering the two. Also, while we're doing that, everyone, that talking about Alexa, if I say it, we're going to go off in your houses. That, she's good for a lot of things. If you are trying to figure out something, to get the diameter for cording for.
That's a good idea. I never thought of that.
For a circle, you just yell out, Alexa, what's, can you do by pi? We use pi a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. And so we're making a round table cover, and we want to know how much cording to make for the outside. And we just say, if it's 18 inches wide, what's pi?
So you're going to have pie and champagne show up at your door. If you get a case of Veuve Clicquot, I'll share it back.
Okay. So what we're going to do is now we're going to take this and we're going to zip it up. We're going to make sure the zipper works, okay? And we are having some difficulties, but this is our sample. All right, so now we're going to take it and we're going to fold it. And you're going to see how you know, the purples matched up nicely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So now what you're going to do is we're going to kind of move this out of the way a little bit. And you're going to stitch down here. If it might be okay for stitching this. We're going to 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. Okay. All right. You want me to try it since it's given. Okay. I changed my foot out to a regular foot. Okay. You want to do it?
I'll do.
Okay.
And so where's your 1/2 inch marker?
1/2 inch mark is right about there. Yep. Okay. Now I will tell you on this one here, start where you've matched up.
Oh, okay. So start on the zipper end?
Yep, start on the zipper end, and because you've matched that up. And then when you, if there's any give, it's going to be on that end. Or it'll match up. You don't worry about that. Yeah.
Okay, come on. Oh, that was really bad. It's still going backwards.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. You know, it's something I do at home just kind of. How do I do it so that it doesn't lock?
Okay. Just give it a little smidge. Right. There you go.
Okay.
Right. And now you're going to do the opposite side.
And again, starting with the matched side?
Yep. You're going to start with the zipper sides. You match it up. No, Jeannie, we did not cut it last wide to avoid dock airs on this one.
What did that just mean?
Donna Cash said my Alexa just answered Jill.
Oh, so that's funny.
She's going to get the wine.
Let us know. Party at Donna's.
That's right. We'll be there in a moment.
I really enjoyed hearing the pillow information.
Good.
Because for sleeping and I mean, that's such a personal, special.
Move that out of the way. Make sure that matches.
Okay.
And push that out of the way. And now move it up and get all of it underneath where the needle starts. You got it.
Okay.
You just have to look back. Okay.
Now I'm just going to crank it on here.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Voila.
Okay, I'm going to trim that back. Okay. And now what you're going to do.
I'm going to think of you every time I ever trim threads.
Okay. So now we are going to make sure that your zipper is up. You've got a little zip back on here. Make sure that's open a little bit, because if you start to stitch up these ends, you cannot get your hand in there to open that. Okay. So always make sure that that's open. Okay.
Smart.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to come to these ends, all right? And you're going to move your tail of your zipper out of the way. Okay. And you're going to stitch from your purple mark's on the inside, but you've stopped and started it there. And you're going to stitch from here right off to this edge here. Okay. And give a little back tap. And we may have to move back to that. I think that zipper foot might have had something to do with it, because we've got some.
Oh, maybe.
I don't, maybe it was just having a fit. I don't know.
What's this thread? Okay.
Okay. So she's going to, let's see, stitch. Yeah. And just get your needle right up in there. Yeah.
I hope I didn't.
You usually have to go slow with it. And you're going to stop and start. You're going to start where you stop stitching for the zip, okay?
Wait, what?
You're good. You're good.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You're going to stop and start it.
You're just going to continue on that line.
Yeah. Okay. And now you're going to trim it. And now you're going to go to the other side. And you're going to do the same thing.
So pulling it out of the way.
Yeah, show them you're pulling it out of the way.
Okay, I'm wait a minute.
Yeah, I'll do the brio. There you go. Just pulling the zip out of the way.
Pulling them out of the way.
And you're matching up your fabric edges. And she's going to start right where that purple, where the stitching stopped for the zipper. And she's going to carefully pick it up there, give a little baby back tap, and that same seam allowance, you're going to go right across the edge.
All right, so let's. And can you like run over the zipper and wreck it?
Here, well, you can break a
like
zipper.
Way back.
Yeah, don't go way back. Okay, there you go. And give it a little back tack. Okay, you're good. Back to the green light. There you go. Again. Okay. Give it a little back tack.
Good. All right, now I'm figuring out your machine.
You got it.
Okay.
Just figured you out. Okay. Okay. So now, what we're going to do.
Hold, please, universe. I have to trim. The master instructor. Okay.
Okay. All right. So now we can trim these ends back a little bit now too. All right. So what we're going to do is let's trim a little bit of this zipper off the end. Let's just run, give it just a little.
You do that first.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this done first. Yeah.
All right.
Here.
You can zip it while you're there.
Yeah, I'll zip it while I'm here. I don't mind. I know I'm wasting a little bit of zipper, in the beginning, but I'd rather have it than not. Okay. I can trim that right off because you don't need all that bulk in there.
Okay.
So I waste it. I'm going to get fired.
Yeah. I'm going to report you.
Okay. Does that mean I can retire?
Yeah.
And same here. Let's just go across here and we'll just kind of give it a little stitch. And that way we can trim it off. Some people put a little...
So does it matter that you did this one flat and you're doing that one folded?
No.
Like it'll just respond the same either way?
I think it'll be okay. Yeah. You can lay it flat. I think I'm rushing.
Okay.
Okay. So now that we have this, we have the sides in, we have our zip in. Everything's going to match. Actually, let's get our hand up in there. You girls are just troopers out there. All right, we can turn it. We can get you on the road too.
No, I'm fine. I just wondered if you told me it was 5 o'clock, I would believe you.
Oh no, it's not. Is it? No.
No.
Oh, excuse me. This is the 5 o'clock. 3, I think we're getting there. Okay, so we can turn it. And then we can see how, that we got to get in there and trim our corners. See how it's going up together. So we're good. Okay. So let's go in and let's trim our corners to get some of that fat out.
I'm curious about your corner trimming technique.
Yes. Well, it's simple. Let's just get in there and let's just trim out that fat because we don't want this in there, especially since this is going to be that flanged corner.
Okay, and then with the zippers.
Yeah, we can, as long as we don't cut into where that they cross each other, we can just trim back a little bit because again, we're gonna have that flange in there. Okay. And I just trim it. And remember, this is gonna be enclosed flange here too, so you're not gonna see all this. Okay. Now I know I had you serge it, but it's just a habit. Okay.
I think it gives you a good base.
It does, yeah. Okay.
That's a pro move, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just easy peasy. Okay. Sorry we have to sign. Yes, thank you so much, Jill. Thank you for being here. And anybody else that has to go, you can watch the replay.
Thank you, Renee. I really enjoyed it.
I called her Renee because she said Jill and Renee. Okay. Now, I have a purple thing around here, and it's a poker. But I'm going to use it very, very carefully, use the tip of my scissors to get those corners out for right now.
I have a letter opener that I use.
Yeah.
And the other end of the shish kebab skewer.
There you go. Now, that would be dangerous. That would be dangerous.
But not the pointy end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be dangerous. Okay, we're going to turn this quickly. Right. Do you want to press it too? Or do you think we're going to zip by the pressing?
Just want whatever you think is best.
Okay. If you start turning it, I'll turn it on.
Okay. I'll turn it in.
Okay, so you're going to turn it and poke it a little bit.
Okay.
Fire iron. We're almost there. We are so close.
All right.
promise.
This, you know, is kind of strangely satisfying. I love having something from nothing, like a thought, and then here it is, a fabric, and then here it is, a pillow. I think that's part of the fun of being a maker, is turning thoughts into things.
Sorry, we hadn't had some of these little goodies today.
I love your setup. Like, I think I need to have a little she shed that's... All right, I'm going to just poke this corner slightly.
Yes, if there, how do I handle corners when there is no flange? Do you trim a little? Depends, I should say. If there is if there's a lot of fat, if I have like a lot of cording or something in there, or if I have to insert some ready-made cord and it's real bulky and it's not turning the corner like I want, yes, I will go in there and I will trim them if it's not pretty. And if I have to go back in and do a little bit of a serging, if I can, I will.
I'm going to fix that corner that you did. This was probably mine. Hold on. It just feels like it's kind of wants to poke out a little more.
Jane asked me, would you recommend this with a pillow sham? Is that the trimming part you were talking about, Jane? Okay.
Do you want it zipped up?
Yeah, we can zip it. Look at it. Yep. Let's give it a little zip. It zipped. Look at that. See?
Nice.
And if you could, but see how that matches? And you can do a back stitch when you when you get home. Your job is to do one, so you don't forget how.
Okay. Okay.
No, seriously, you know.
All right. So we've...
Okay. All right. So we've turned it. And now we're just going to give it, make sure all the seams are, rolled out.
Do you sort of press out the seam a little bit before you...
Yes. Sometimes, there's different ways that you can do that. Sometimes if your iron will fit on the inside, you can put your iron on the inside and just kind of push it over.
I never thought to do it from the inside.
You can do that. Or you can take it and, let me see if I need to do this. Or you could just take it and just kind of, if you want to. Don't try this with a do-fix.
With a what?
The do-fix iron. Because the do-fix, it steams and oh my gosh, the steam is wild. So see, I'm putting it in there, and what I'm doing is, you see where my steam is, and so I'm just pushing that seam over to one side. No, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just pushing that seam.
I see.
But I'm pulling the top part so that I don't get that crease. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How it kind of folds over itself.
I guess if you weren't careful, you could melt your zipper too, couldn't you?
You could.
But you know what? Now I'm going to act like I'm the expert and show you. When I do my masks, since it won't fit inside, I'll just go like that.
Right, and you can do that too.
Would that be all right?
But I avoid that sometimes because
I
get the crease on the side.
So if you can be
I'll push it
about
over even more. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I think is that good?
Perfect. Okay. Okay. And now that's all. Go ahead and zip it.
I'm used to hearing that.
Now give it a good press.
Okay.
Press your top.
All right.
Go ahead and press your top.
And do you have okay, so here's iron 101. Do you have is it better to go like in long direction so it gets more heat on a spot?
No.
Or does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I noticed that where I sealed off the ends of the zipper is not laying nicely. So maybe I just need more practice with that.
That's right. We're rushing, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I think that making sure that you get to that purple mark. You stop and start right at that purple mark. And see, when you add the cotton sateen, did you adhere it to the fabric or just a layer? What I did was I serged it. I serged both layers together. Have my purple thing. Yep. Okay, we're good. And then when you added the cotton sateen and then increase my sewing, I increased my seam allowances in the corners to avoid dog ears. Yeah, that's a good way to do that too. Yes. All right. So now, woohoo, we're ready. So yes, and I'll go over that. See this one, how this one looks really good because you stopped and started right at that purple mark where those two, that stitching stop. You're going to pick it right up and continue on to the end. And that's going to make that, and then you're going to do the same amount of seam allowance too that you put in that zipper. Okay, and that makes that lay right flat. Okay. Now you're going to take the grid and you're going to take a really good purple pin. Did I drop it? And then you're just going to lay the grid down and you're going to mark 1.5 inches.
So you really are marking right on the fabric.
Right on that fabric.
So 1.5. Wait.
Yep, 1.5.
It's kind of
right there. Okay.
Okay.
And
it really goes away.
Yeah, it does. I
so
promise.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Is that?
Yeah, that's it might roll in a little bit at the bottom because of the seam. But go back and forth. Is that a good one?
I'm on the eraser side.
Oh, that won't work.
So I maybe want to look at 1.5 down this way. So I'm not.
I increased my seam allowance on the corners to avoid dog ears. Yes. That's a good. I usually just cut mine off.
So does this just disappear?
It will.
On its own?
Mm-hmm. That's why we got to go fast on this.
Oh,
There's a sizing on
it's
this
like
one.
invisible ink.
Yeah.
Wait, so is this one?
Yeah, you got to go 1.5. Go up a little bit more. Yep. Now I go all the way across.
Oh, I need these pens.
Yes, those are magic pens. They erase, and heat will make them come back too.
Okay.
If they fade too fast, then you can put iron on them, and it will pop it right back up.
Are there other areas in your life where you're super technical like this? I guess your electronic stuff. You know what? I need to do a little.
Yeah. I know that there's some sizing on this fabric, and it's the ink is going way fast.
Okay, I can.
Okay. Yeah. Can you see it? See if you
I
press
see.
it brings it right back.
Brilliant.
Okay. All right. Let's add a couple of pins here on your line, only because you're going to be sewing through all the layers. You don't want it to shift on you.
Okay.
And I know some people say, oh, I don't want a pin. I don't want a pin. But there's sometimes that you really do need to pin. And let me show you something here. If you put your pins in at this angle here.
Mm-hmm. Then I don't have to take them out.
You don't have to take them out. Right.
Have you ever caught your needle on it?
No, if you're careful, you
just on the top or all the way?
Do it on the side too. This way it's holding everything together.
Okay. If only you could hold together life with pins.
Jane, you can. We have, and I always talk to the designer, my client that I'm working with, and said, how important is that bottom flange to you? Because if it's not, if you don't really care, we'll make it without. We'll make it without that bottom flange.
And what's the response you get most?
And I get we don't care.
Okay.
We don't care. And, for the most part, okay? So you're going to start at the zipper edge. And if you need to move that zipper head out of the way.
I think I do.
And you're just going to stitch. You may have to push it up on it a little bit.
You know what? I get, like with surgery, you start. What was that?
Wait, stop. It's the needle.
Oh, you know what?
You broke the needle.
Okay. Do we want to hold everybody hostage?
No, we're not going to hold everybody hostage. I think you guys get the point here. We just broke a needle. But what you're going to do, is you are going to stitch along that 1.5 inch mark. And when you get to the corner, remember to leave your needle down and then pivot. Pivot your pillow and stitch up the other end. And then get to this corner, leave your needle down, and then pivot and go all the way over to the other side. And then when you're done, this is what you will have.
Pretend.
Yeah, pretend. But I think the most important thing that people really wanted to see was the zipper. And hold that one up. And I'll put that over here. Hold this one up in the zipper. And you can see how it, it's just a nice tight zipper.
Here's a good zipper.
Okay. All right.
Very nice.
Yes, the heat does bring back that mark. But yeah, I love a button flange too. That's pretty. But sometimes, again, ask your client if what they prefer. Okay.
That's an interesting. I actually have a couple projects coming up with pillows, and now that I've been alerted to this, it's kind of a useless flange anyway, and then it makes you have to replace the zipper somewhere else.
Right.
Maybe they don't care. So
Right.
I'll ask.
True. Okay, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's been a wonderful day, and thank you to Jana and Jill and Renee and all of you. You've been a great audience, and I apologize we've kept you like an hour over. And we've just had a little bit of fudgies, but
oh yeah, giveaways.
So it's giveaway.
All right.
Okay, are we ready for this? Yeah, good. You guys have been so great, I tell you. All right, so we're just going to shake this up a little bit. What are we going to give away first?
Let's give away a yard of fabric, and then we'll come back to the other yard.
Okay, so we're going to give away this yard first.
This is
this out of the way.
Aqua Palms, and this is a linen cotton, kind of like linen.
Okay. All righty, everybody ready? Thank you, Donna. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so
this was like playing. I mean, everything wasn't perfect, but it was just like a
it's
thing in
playing.
real life.
It's like grown-up Barbies just playing.
One day, we'll get some people together when Corona's gone, and we will have a real life.
All right,
play.
let's pick.
Okay, 1 yard. Let's go.
Jennifer Scott from Scott Custom Sewing.
Okay. I don't know if Jennifer Scott is on here.
If she's on, even if she's not, we'll
That's
send
right.
that to her. So I'll pin that while you can pick the next one.
Okay. Should we give away, what should we give away?
Trim box.
The Jana's trim box? Okay. And you see everything.
I wish I was in there to qualify for that.
You're not. I'm sorry.
I know.
I pulled your name. Okay. I have trim box. Oh, Amy Van Dorp.
Oh, yay!
Won the trim box. Okay. All right. We'll put that there. Amy was on here. Oh, you're welcome, Kip. Thanks for being here.
All right.
Okay. Next.
You want to do pillow form?
Yes,
or like, what's the...
you want to do My Pillow, or you want to do American Down and Feather?
Let's do American Down.
Okay. I'm kind of... Here, it's your turn.
Okay.
Those are great pillows. My name's not in there. I wish it was.
Victoria, Subversive Textiles. She gets a pillow form or whatever.
Two pillow forms from American Down and Feather. That's good. That's okay. Okay, don't forget who gets that.
That's Amy. So
okay, that's
pillows.
It. Okay.
And then
now, My Pillow.
This one, the good one.
Yep, you get the good one.
Okay.
You get the good one. I hear you.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna pick it from the edge. I don't know. Do I just have one?
Yeah.
Okay. This goes to Island Trader. Island Trader.
Don't know what it is.
I feel like I'm calling bingo cards. B14.
Okay. And then now for the last yard.
Here.
Right here. Fabric.
Here. This is what we worked with today, and it's a sateen, but it's kind of on the heavy side. So, you picking?
Oh, you want to?
Either way.
Okay. Getting jealous here. I'm sorry. Okay. Cecilia R. Light is the winner of the fabric. So, thank you. Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy my babies are going to good homes.
Yes, they are. They are. All right, everyone. Any other questions? Anything else? Can they still buy from you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if there's something you don't see on my website, or if you have any questions about anything, you can email me and follow me on Instagram. And it's just at Jill Seale. And Sandra, thank you so much.
You.
This flew by for me.
It did.
And
extra hour, sorry. I always run over.
I learned.
Yes, yay to the winners. Thank you so much. And don't forget to please follow all of us out there on social media. We'd love to hear from you. And I'll have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And ladies, we'll do this again sometime soon.
And a shout out to Jana and Renee.
Yes,
Jana,
again.
that was a visual explosion, and
Yes.
you've got me like, okay, trim everything.
Exactly.
And I can't wait to. That was so informative.
It was
and
very
I can't wait to start using trims. So I'll be posting with trims.
Yes, me too. And all of you, please, and follow them. And don't forget to join Jana on Thursday nights. She is the best interviewer ever. And she brings some very creative individuals onto her Instagram.
She's the grand dame of creative people.
Yeah, and to Renee too. She left early. I mean, she didn't leave early, but she left on time. And for her, giving away those pillows and telling us about her company. So it's been really great. So thank you, everyone. And we will do this again. You're welcome.
Roman shades next.
Roman shades next. Okay, everyone. All right. Thanks.